I-55 going northbound at 255, and that crash has the left shoulder closed.
It's that summer feel going through our Tuesday afternoon. Partly sunny skies, kind of hot and very humid. Maybe a spot shower. We're going to try to make 92 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a spot shower, 74. Wednesday, unsettled, partly to mostly cloudy skies, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. It's going to depend on how much sun we see on Wednesday. 88 for the high. That will continue into Wednesday evening. So the prime time is anytime Wednesday up until about 9 o'clock Wednesday evening for strong to severe thunderstorms, though I don't think it's a widespread outbreak. Plenty of sunshine Thursday and 85. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got 84 in St. Peters, 85 in Florissant, 84 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM, KMOX. Happy Tuesday to everybody. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week.
All right.
It's going to be fine.
All right.
Everyone just settle down.
Okay.
Just relax.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You were just getting a little out of hand. So Thursday, we are off because of the Cardinals game, but my boss had a great idea. He said, hey, since you're off all day, why don't you do a show for the people? I'm like, F the people. I'm off. So what we're going to do is we're going to record about a 1 hour podcast, give or take, and that will be available Thursday. It's for the boys in the truck, whether it's Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, whatever. And so I would like to solicit from you, probably primarily on the stream, if you go to YouTube or Facebook, and you can send us topics, you can send us questions. They can be existential, they can be about the show. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be a completely fun podcast, no politics, nothing serious, and we can cuss. Steve said, I'm not going to monitor it, just don't spike the ball. I'm like, okay. Fair enough.
I will be making a commitment not to cuss.
I can't make that.
Boy, there's always one of them, isn't there? There's Goody Two Shoes over there.
She makes it sound like it's like a real struggle for her.
You're right.
Like it's a real
She's
sacrifice.
really such a sailor mouth.
Yeah, Rach walks around here just dropping bombs left and right.
It is more effective when she cusses, though.
Yeah.
It's more rare.
Yeah.
So when she lets go, it's like, oh, damn.
I think in general they can be very effective.
Oh, yeah.
I know this doesn't. There was a study not long ago that you can search and find it that shows that intelligent people swear more.
Yes. I've seen that several times.
And it's not so much that it means that you're smart, is that you understand the communication, that certain words get a certain reaction.
Yeah.
And when you use them, although you're right, if you use it all the time, it loses its reaction.
Yeah. My cursing is so ingrained in my speech.
Yeah.
First of all, I can't believe I can do this show. And then secondly, when I curse, it's in my brain. It's not so much for like effect. It's a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking, and I just and it's just like it's just peppered in there.
Yeah.
That's what's comfortable for me.
Yeah.
My mom taught me that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Big
kind of
curse
learned
from
some
my
of those lessons from my dad, just like Christmas Story we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody's dad was that guy.
Yeah.
Except they weren't just the fake noises. They were actual words. But like, I don't know if it's a sports thing because being in sports, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Probably from the time you're 12 or 13 on.
Oh, when you're learning to cuss, it's hilarious.
Oh, it's the best, and you're doing it wrong.
You must have a great time with your 14.
Oh, my God, it's the best. I will say, like, I don't gratuitously do that stuff around them, but I will, and I will use it selectively. That's where you're going to use it selectively because sometimes it'll get attention where otherwise attention drifts.
Are they comfortable doing it around
Oh, yeah.
you?
Around us, yeah. They don't hold back around coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever cursing around a coach. It was a different time.
Yeah, it all depends, too. And it's like, it's not always the same ones.
Yeah.
And usually it's like they're mad at themselves. You know, they make an out and they're like,
yeah, it's fun. Yesterday we were talking about Blazing Saddles in the Sweet 16. And when I saw Blazing Saddles at the drive-in with my mom and dad, and it started off like it starts off. And my mom's like, "Oh, Jack." And my dad turns around. I'm in the back seat, of course. And he's like, "Boy, you ever hear that word? The F word?"
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you said it 8 times on the way here.
I've heard it before.
I have dabbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was not a cursor like me, where it's just a rhythmic way of speaking. He was
angry,
exclamatory.
My dad the same.
If the curse words came out. In fact, I learned this. My mom and dad were not fighters. They didn't fight each other. I rarely saw them have anything at all. But when they would, my mom would just chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp, and my dad would be holding the Alton Telegraph up in front of his face, and then one word would stop it. Horse-s. That was his word. He would just lower
the exclamation point.
He would lower the paper and he'd just yell, "Horse-s!" And that was it. My mom stopped. Time to make pork chops. I'm not sure what happened after horse-s one time, but it was like, that was it. Fight was over.
Yeah.
It was nice. I grew up in a house with other things that weren't great, but I didn't grow up with fighting parents.
Yeah.
So that was.
That's definitely good.
Yeah, it's good. It's positive. Although I grew up in a crazy neighborhood, like just beer drinking Hoosiers, fun, loved them, not judging because I grew up the exact same way. So it's not like I'm better than them, but there was lots of fights. I mean, like fisticuffs.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. My next door neighbors were nuts, especially the guy who I loved. And we would have these big, giant block parties, basically. Everyone would just barbecue and share their food, and here's beer. And they would show girly movies when the sun went down, and they would show them in this garage. You know those green-tinted garage doors? And you could look through there, and you could see the girls dancing, like just the shadows. And so we would hide behind the tree like as 12-year-olds and just watch the shadows of naked women against the green backdrop and hear the guys in there laughing and drinking beer and raising hell.
Ah.
Yeah.
Little stag party.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Does it sound familiar, Rach?
No. Can't say that I've
No?
been in that situation.
Yeah.
Universal experience.
Growing up in Grafton, there was no like...
People were not screening girly movies, no.
Yeah, that wasn't happening in ours either.
Wow. I feel so judged.
No, you
I'm
didn't
not
do it.
judging you. I just didn't
You
experience
didn't do it, did you?
No. No. Although we did in that same garage, it was at like a car mechanic garage, and they had girly calendars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so we would get on each other's shoulders with a broomstick because they had it up high and try to change it to like July to see what she had going on. I remember just going ass over tea kettle and
Oh, man.
Bill Harvey running out there and yelling at us. What the hell are you doing?
Get out of there.
She's it. It's the cops.
At that time, everything was just run.
Yeah.
No matter what, just run.
It was.
You're like 10 years old. If you're worried, just run.
That's why yesterday when we did the story about the guy that sat on the Sawarski art chair and broke it and ran, and when Andrew said, "I'm 100% running," I didn't go after you. I'm like, "Yeah, me too, probably."
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody that happened ever.
I'm going to tell you, though, I'm going to know that they have security cameras.
I'm telling Megan it happened after we've already run out of the museum. I'm not telling her because she'll make a big deal out of it. She can't be cool about anything. Whenever she sees, like, if we were to try and like sneak into like a movie theater or whatever, she'd be like, "We can't do this. That's wrong," or whatever. Like, she can't do anything wrong, and she's constantly outing me when I'm trying to do bad things.
Andrew's dogging on his wife for being honest.
Yes, I'm like, can you not? Can you keep it to yourself until we're in a quieter spot and then we can deliberate?
What's ironic about that is you're my guy for that. How many times have I said over the years, don't rob a bank with Andrew?
Well, no, I wouldn't out you at the time. I would just probably blab about it later.
Yes. Yes.
I don't care if she were to blab about it later, but she gets it in trouble right in the moment.
There's no need to torture. They could give you a stale Ritz cracker and you're telling everything.
Or like if I send her a text, like when we're across the room, if I send a text that's like, "Hey, can we go? Like, I don't want to be," or whatever. She's like, "Why did you just text me? What did you say? I'm sitting right here. Why are you texting me?" And then everybody knows that I'm trying to say something to her. And it's like, come on.
I remember one time, years and years ago, Rach hadn't been on the show that long, and I forget, it was the three of us, and we were sharing some sort of inside info, and I started blabbing it, and Rach was mad, and she called me Zero Chill. And
No Chill Dave.
No Chill Dave. And it really hurt my feelings, because I didn't understand it.
It hurts my feelings when you have no chill.
I didn't understand it. And then when I did, I was like, oh. Yes. My chill is zero.
Is limited.
James says prayers for healing.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I think that's. I think somebody's commenting on the wrong thing on their Facebook.
And then maybe he meant the
Those
cursing.
But James, we appreciate it and we wish you well.
Those comments tend to be Facebook comments, and I wonder if somebody's just scrolling on there and they hit the wrong one.
Okay.
Because that one doesn't fit the context of girly movies and such.
Otherwise, they just took a look at the four of us and was like, they need prayer.
Yeah, that could be.
Prayers for healing.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Andrew, it is so dark in your room.
Yeah.
Oh my
God! Andrew looks like a person that's doing the interview in shadow on a 60 Minutes episode.
Modulate his voice.
Andrew's gonna be like, "Well, when we broke through the bank wall."
Let's see.
Is your light on?
No, it's not plugged in. Let me see if I can.
Well, and then the backlight
Somebody took the
is just...
somebody took the plug is the problem to this thing. So,
well, it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
You just look mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and get some better light in here.
I have so many topics.
But don't wait
today.
for it.
I don't even want to do lives. I just want to talk about my
topic.
stuff.
Topics. We got time. It's only 1:17.
Okay.
Steve's so mad if he heard me say that.
You know,
he'd be like, "Get to break."
You know how like you can do anything you want in your life. It's all out there for you. And I was thinking about that last night, and you know what struck me? And I'm not gonna do this. It's just a thought experiment. I hope you get it. But I thought I could start smoking.
You could.
I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I could end my life as a smoker. I got 25 years left. I could really blacken those lungs up. Like that could be my thing. I'm the smoking guy, the Marlboro man. And I knew as I was thinking it, I'm not going to do it because I find smoking sort of gross. But like, you ever do that? Like, I could move to France. I could move to Japan. There are reasons not to, but I could.
Yeah, I've had the same thought with the smoking. Because there are times where, like...
It looks so good.
It looks so good. It seems like it'd be so nice to just have yourself a little cigarette.
Just
I'm like,
relax.
I could just start doing that. But
Yeah, you could.
But then I talk myself out of it.
The thing is that really gets you, because I didn't like smoke in college, but I would join my friends if they were or whatever, is that you go to like a gas station and you see that it's like, $18 for a pack of smokes or whatever. And you're like, okay, nope, never mind. Not happening.
It is expensive.
Not happening.
Well, maybe we can smoke together sometime.
Yeah, we can go in together and buy a pack.
Yeah.
Keep costs down.
Sit outside and cough the whole time.
We'll get caught by Steve. What are you doing?
Nothing.
I caught Dave and Rachel smoking. Smoking.
Yeah, what if we did? What if we just started smoking out there and all the smokers would be like, you can't hang out with us.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'd be like excited to have you.
No.
They'd be like, what are you doing?
And we'd do it all bad. I'd hold it like I'm holding a joint, like I wouldn't know what to do.
No, that's the cool way to hold it. You hold it between the thumb and the forefinger. That's like a cool way to
Maybe
like
a long cigarette holder like FDR.
There you go.
Oh, like the
now
penguin.
we're talking.
Like the penguin.
Yeah,
well, they're
like,
the same character.
Like the penguin.
Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Dave's like, let me put on my long white gloves. It's time to smoke.
And my tiara.
That is the sexiest thing. Like, I was born too late. Like, I love the look of the 40s, men and women. But, like, women in a cocktail dress with long gloves, smoking, that's just it.
It is nice.
Letting out a little too much about myself, aren't I?
I mean, no, fine.
So, as we said, we're going to record a podcast to play Thursday. Looking for you guys to give us topics and or questions on the stream. So we'll jot them down as you throw them out. Tell you about the Gelman team. Had Neil Gelman on yesterday, and I love Neil. He's just so honest. He's just so candid. And I was asking what sort of real estate market is it? And he said, if you listen to national news, you will be convinced that it is a poor real estate market, that it's a buyer's market, not a seller's market. But he said the closer you get to St. Louis, and then once you're in the St. Louis metro proper, it's very consistent, and it really has to do, it's sort of like the ultimate justice. There are people 3 or 4 years ago when the market was white hot who took advantage. They had a $500,000 house and they sold it for $650,000 and they didn't even have to work at it very hard. Now you have to work at it. Now you have to put your best foot forward. You have to have a great realtor, but you can still get a great price, even over asking price if you do it the right way. If you want to find out what the Gelmans think your house is worth right now, you can do so on the front page of thegelmanteam.com. If you like that or you're mad about it, you just want to talk about it, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You log into your DSP. It's confusing. Where do you build a campaign? Where's the report? Targeting's vague, CTV's tacked on and overpriced. Then you find Viant. Setup? Just a chat prompt. AI does the rest. Targeting? People-based and precise across premium publishers. Measurement? Transparent, outcome-driven. And CTV? We've led since streaming meant something. Viant is the DSP that actually gets advertising. Still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at Pound Law, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
124 DG Aston KMOX. Pretty day. I opened my mom's estate at the bank across the street from our office, so Rach was kind enough to walk over with me today. It's hot.
It's hot and there's chicken bones all over the sidewalk all the time.
What? Yes.
It's the perils of working above KFC.
Oh, yeah.
People get their chicken and then they eat it and then they just toss it onto the sidewalk and it's like, well, there's another chicken bone.
All chicken bones.
I bet we could find 15 if we went out there right now. I'm not exaggerating.
Easy. Let's try.
Any given day.
Yeah.
Come down to the sidewalk and do a little chicken bone scavenger hunt. You will find plenty.
Yeah. And I didn't really clock it. I've been walking over chicken bones so many years now that but like even on the stairs, like there's stairs going up to our office and it's like there's a chicken bone per flight.
Yeah.
Every time. Just sitting on a stair.
Man.
It's just fun to picture people like finishing the wing or whatever they're eating and just like boop.
Yeah, and just kind of over the shoulder.
Yeah. Like Johnny Appleseed.
Gonna grow some more chickens. I was obsessed with Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, when I heard that story and all the kids are just grab-assing, and I'm like, shh, shh, shh. Johnny Appleseed.
Well, that was my preferred snack as a child was just a nice apple.
As a child?
Yes.
Or just like all the time forever?
Well, currently still, I do like to enjoy a nice apple, but just the thought of like, man, he's playing them all over this beautiful country. It's wonderful.
Was he wasn't real, though?
He was based on a real guy.
Just a guy who was real into apples?
Yeah, a guy that walked across the country planting apple trees.
Wow, okay.
And I think he really did wear a pan for a hat, so...
Takes all kinds, I guess.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've never heard of Johnny Appleseed?
You've never heard of Johnny Appleseed? Get out of here.
I have heard of Johnny Appleseed. I do not know the story.
If it was Johnny Baseball Seed, you wouldn't shut up about it.
You're right. I don't care about no steak
They
and
say
apple
he
seed.
founded the Double Steel. So,
well, in that case.
Yeah, no, Johnny Appleseed. He was huge in our childhood.
Like,
I heard about him like once a month
He
at
must
least.
be like central to Illinois education
Must
somehow.
be.
That, like the three
Again,
of us are
I
so
have definitely
fixated on him.
heard
He's got
of
his own
Johnny
part in the
Appleseed,
curriculum.
But I have no idea what Johnny Appleseed allegedly did or did not do.
He gets credited for planting most of the apple trees in a certain segment of the country. I'm thinking like Pennsylvania. Yeah, he wore a pan for a hat, like a pot on his head.
Yep.
And what else did he do? Was he known for something else?
I remember him having a satchel.
Yeah. With
upon which
seeds
he,
in it.
Yeah, upon which he kept his seeds.
I was getting him confused with the Pied Piper who stole children.
I don't think he did that.
So
I don't think he stole any children. I don't think he was Johnny Appleseed and child kidnapper.
I just Googled this and I cannot watch the video because we're on the air. But the headline for this YouTube video is Johnny Appleseed was real and weirder than you might think.
Nice.
Now I need to know the story.
Yeah.
Well, I already thought he was pretty weird.
Apparently his name was John Chapman.
Okay.
And he planted apple orchards across the American frontier.
There you go. Wonder what he got out of it.
I think just love of the game.
Yeah, he just enjoyed spreading cheer through his seeds.
Dedication to his apples.
And taking children.
And also he led children to their demise at the hands of, I think, fairies?
You know, we're just repeating what we've heard here, all right?
Wait, for reals?
No, that's the Pied Piper.
Wait,
That's
what?
his
He
cousin.
led children?
Dude, what
Have
did
you
you
heard of the
do
Pied
in school?
Piper?
Have you never heard? Did you just never hear anything?
I thought the Pied Piper was just leading rats out of the city.
Yeah, but then they didn't pay him for removing the rats, so he took all the children.
Next he took the kids out of the city.
I did not know that.
You did not pay attention.
And he had apple seeds and he had a big blue ox.
Okay. Wait, I thought that was Paul Bunyan.
No,
yeah,
you're wrong.
all same guy.
Paul Bunyan had the ox. I know that.
Paul Bunyan is another name for Johnny Appleseed, who also went by the Pied Piper.
Okay.
Keep up, Wheels.
Not that hard.
Come on.
I understand
This
now.
is American history.
Lombardo Rage?
Yeah. Did you guys know that Lombardo Homes can actually build on your land or property? It's called Anywhere Lombardo. And Lombardo has the tools and expertise to evaluate your property, recommend different floor plans and options, provide you with pricing, and build you the home that best fits your needs on time and on budget. Plus, you're getting this beautiful, luxurious, quality, customized Lombardo home.
So Lombardo doesn't build 55 and up communities per se, but they have these town homes in various different communities that are great. So if you are my age and you don't want to move into like an old folks kind of place, but you would really like to not have a bunch of yard work, but you'd love to have a lake and walking trails and a gym and so forth, check out LombardoHomes.com.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
The great thing about Newt Bar, he's a very influential player, but that works both ways. He can propel your lineup or he can bring your lineup down, and we've seen both of that this season. But that's kind of baseball too, unless you have this super lineup, you're going to have fluctuations.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We're about to take you now to Dave Murray's forecast, which is sponsored by Siding Express and SidingExpress.com.
Early summer in St. Louis. It's warm to hot and humid, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower. They're going to edge close to 92 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower, 74. Unsettled on Wednesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. Kind of depend on how much sun breaks out during the day. 88 for the high on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, still some thunderstorms around 69. Thursday, it's all gone. Plenty of sunshine and 85. Looks pretty good on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Transform your home with the beauty and durability of James Hardie Siding. At Siding Express, we specialize in James Hardie Siding installation. Visit SidingExpress.com today to schedule a free consultation. That's SidingExpress.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50-plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient, physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50-plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Just taking a look at my Schnucks Rewards app here. You know, one of the best parts of the app are the personalized savings. These are savings on items I buy the most at Schnucks. So that's going to look different for me than it looks for you, than it looks for Dave Glover, than it looks for Kevin Wheeler. There's also tons of other digital offers and coupons available in the app, but the personalized savings are just really nice because it kind of lets you stock up in advance if something's on sale this week that you weren't necessarily planning on getting. It just helps you plan ahead. You can also keep your grocery list right there on the app. You can order curbside pickup or delivery if you need that convenience. But you earn 2% cash back on every single purchase when you use your Schnucks Rewards, when you shop with your Schnucks Rewards app. Those points really add up. A lot of people will save them for like a big holiday meal at the end of the year or something. Some people turn around and donate them to a local charity. Either way, it's a great deal for you. And I always say the app just kind of streamlines your grocery shopping experience. So go download it today if you haven't already. Just search for the Schnucks Rewards app.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDRURYLaw.com.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
Tonight, the Cards, the White Sox.
Cameron Total Access 545.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our conversation with Ricky Horton is brought to you by Goodwill. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Time to talk to our pal Ricky Horton. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Dave, how are you? It seems like we just chatted just a few days ago, didn't we?
Yeah, it does. Doing well.
I love it.
Everything's
Love it.
good. How was Father's Day?
Oh, Father's Day was really good. My wife packed a little present for me in my bag, not unknowingly. So that was kind of a nice thing, and nice to chat with our kids. I mean, I'm used to talking to them traveling, and was able to talk to both the kids during the day, which was nice.
Very nice. Excellent. Okay, so I was saying to Wheels, being the guy that doesn't know what I'm talking about, but it feels a lot like by the time we finish the Cubs series, it ain't over, good or bad, but we're going to know a whole lot by then.
Yeah, I mean, we got the White Sox here in Chicago first, but then when we get the Cubs at home, and then the Reds. I mean, we're playing division games now. I felt like things got ramped up a little bit in Milwaukee playing against them, and of course, Cardinals only able to win 1 out of 4. They were in 2 of the losses, but didn't pull it out. But the point is, there was some amped up emotions and kind of felt like okay, this is the season now. The other games count, of course, on the schedule, but I do think in the next couple of weeks that we're gonna get a real look at kind of what needs to get better and what we need to do going forward.
Ricky, before we get into anything else, I'm just really interested in your take on the Contreras kerfuffle with the incident at first base and the intentional hit and him handing him the ball. And what did you make of all that as a pitcher?
So kerfluffle is one of my favorite words. Can we start with that? I love that word. I'm so glad you said that word. So the funniest part of that kerfluffle was him handing the ball to his battery mate with the Cubs. They played with the Cubs together for years. They're good friends. I mean, they're from different places. Quintana is not from Venezuela. But they're still buddies. And so the two of them having that little thing on the mound was very unique and fun. I think there's a little backstory to it that I'm not really familiar with, but I feel like, Contreras should not, I mean, you can't have your leg in the lane. That's for sure. Now, whether, he was trying to make a point or not, I don't know, but, he certainly is not afraid to challenge an entire team from the field. And that, I do like his fire. I will say that, but I do also understand why the Brewers were not happy about it.
It's fascinating to me, Rick, and the way the game is run is different now than it was even 15 years ago as far as what liberties they give to teams to enforce these things. I was a little surprised given that Quintana wasn't thrown out. 15 years ago, there would be no conversation about it, but we know baseball has kind of given the umpires the leeway where if they think it was intentional, there doesn't have to be warnings or anything. They can let somebody go, and that was clearly intentional.
Well, it's funny that, and John Rooney talked about this on the air, a couple of years ago, maybe even last year, Miles Michaelis hit somebody first inning and got tossed, and he just fired a nice, easy, fast. I mean, it was not even, it wasn't like up at the head, but it was clearly he was doing it, and there was a retaliatory reason, which escapes my mind right now. But he got thrown out right away, which we questioned. It's like, just let them figure it out themselves. And the umpires got on, John and I. We heard from umpires that said, no. Look, we have to do it this way.
Right.
Well, apparently they don't, or they no longer do. I mean, it's like, so, it's like it's true until it isn't, one of my favorite lines. So, I mean, it's true until it isn't, and it wasn't apparently that day. Although, frankly, from the Cardinals' point of view, it was better that Quintana stayed in to give up the home run to Nolan Gorman. So it all worked out. And no one, I don't think anybody was really, the way Quintana did it, he's such a pro. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a way to do it that's right, and he did it right.
Yes, he did not do anything dangerous, and
no, he did not.
And that also makes it all the more obvious that it was on purpose.
That's right. Yeah, there's a guy that can throw a ball from 60 feet within a 3-inch diameter spot, and yet that diameter spot happened to be the ribs of Contreras.
He looked to me like he didn't even want to do it. Like when my dad used to spank me when he got home from work, and my mom told him to.
He's like, I have to.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I had a moment back in the day that there was a kerfluffle. There's that word again in Chicago, right here in Chicago with the Cubs, and I had a coach come up to me after I was going into the game, and there was an incident on the field, and our coach, all he said to me is, "You know what to do, right?" And I said, "Yes," and that was it. He didn't tell me to do it. He didn't. I mean, he just said, "You understand what's." Yep. I said, "Okay." So we just knew, and I threw one inside, very inside. I didn't hit the guy, but I I knocked him down for sure. And it was an answer to something that he'd done the inning before, and we just kind of moved on from there. It's just kind of the way baseball is.
Did anyone ever rush your mound?
No, he was the closest. I actually got him out on the next pitch on a changeup, which made him even madder. He popped out. He popped out to Tommy Hurt. He ran right by the mound, and he's saying words to me that, well, I can't repeat, but just yelling at me as he's running towards their dugout. And Terry Pendleton yelled to him, "There he is! Go get him!" Which I'm thinking, Terry, don't say that.
Shut up, Terry.
Hey, shut up. Hey, Terry, I love you, but.
But the hidden message there is either shut up or do something, right?
Exactly. And I've actually told that story. The guy who I was throwing, I threw one intentionally inside to was Larry Boa, who's a pretty feisty dude.
He is, yeah.
And I told him that story after the fact, and I don't think he found it real amusing, but I mean, it was to me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rick, I think you'd have had a chance against Larry.
Yeah,
I don't. No, I don't. I don't. I mean,
he was a little crazy.
When I am stronger now than when I was 25 years old by a long shot because we didn't lift weights. I'm telling you, I could not have bench pressed half of me back then. I mean, I threw hard enough with my body type, but I did not have muscle upon muscle. So I did run a lot, so I might have taken off to get right behind somebody big.
Like running past Terry, right?
Right, exactly.
Rick, you have brought up an era that I was so into Cardinal baseball, your era. What was Pendleton and her? What were they like, just being teammates?
Well, they were neighbors, first of all, both of them. We all lived in the same neighborhood. Tito Landrum was there. Andy Van Slyke was there. We had a bunch of guys within a stone's throw of each other. And Terry was a dear friend. I mean, Terry still is a dear friend. Terry and Kathy would be at our place all the time, and they were there right after our first daughter was born. And Terry was as likable a guy as you could possibly be. Tommy Hurt's more quiet, but he was kind of like the E.F. Hutton. When he said something, you'd pay attention. And Tom used to have meetings at the end of kind of impromptu meetings at a table after every game. We actually had a beer in our clubhouse, which is not a great idea, but we had it back then. But the brewery owned the team, and there was a keg in our clubhouse, and we would sit around and talk about the game. And Tom typically would lead that discussion because he knew the game better than anybody on that team.
See, I love that. I understand addiction issues. I understand everyone's
Yeah,
different.
Driving
home,
Yeah.
I get it, but there's something so very baseball about that.
There was something very baseball about that, including the fact that our wives were in the waiting room with our little kids, waiting for us to finish that conversation many nights, and that wasn't always the best of thing, but we gave them the opportunity to drive home, so that was all good.
You guys are like, it's just work. We're just working.
It's just work, and actually they understood it, and they knew that it was good for us.
Yeah.
It's better than us debriefing with them in the car because they don't. Ann didn't want to hear about this play or that play. I mean, she's very supportive of my career and has been throughout, even in the broadcasting career as well. But the details, you need to work that out with your boys.
Was that the era, Rick? I'm sure you didn't do it, but was that the era when everyone was going out after away games?
After away, oh yeah. I mean, yeah. No, there was a lot of that. There's no question. And there was the old saying that the guys used to say, you can sleep when you're dead, or you can sleep. The corollary was you sleep in the off season, not during the season. But then there would be the kind of the mitigating comment that people would say of pick your spots. I mean, that was a great saying that Bruce Sutter used to say is, look, understand you're a pro and you got to be ready to go. So don't be going out the day before a day game in Chicago. That's a bad idea. But if it's an off day, I mean, whatever, that sometimes you got to let off some steam. So guys would come out, go out more. There was definitely more like drinking, especially on the plane, which not a great thing, but that's the way it was.
It's interesting you say that. I just read something or saw a TikTok, and I can't pull out of my brain who it was. It could have been a Cardinal, but a veteran player currently talking about how he has taken the younger kids under his wing. And he takes them out to dinner, and he teaches them how to be a pro. He bought them all suits. And he said, I did that. Maybe this will help you figure out who it is, because when I was in Texas, that's what they did for me. I thought that was
interesting.
Really interesting how you pass that down.
Well, that is the way, it is the way it should be, and it was that way with me. And I tell the story all the time. Bob Forsch told us you never reach in your wallet anywhere. If there's a veteran around, we're going to take care of you, and that's kind of just you do that for somebody else. And so I think one thing that is a little, and it's missing a little bit today. It's just harder work to do that because there are less veterans than there used to be. The way the economics of the game are, the longer you play, the more costly you are. So and the costs are so high from a club's point of view, they don't want a veteran making $15 million playing once a week. They just don't want that. So they're going to get a younger guy, and he's going to be the bench player, and they're going to take a flyer on kind of a journeyman player just because of, again, the economics. So you don't have the guy that's a 10-year, as many 10-year veterans. I think we had at least 8 to 10 10-year veterans on those teams in the early 80s.
One last baseball question, Rick. I know that we all know and talk about that we need to win the White Sox series. We need to win the series against the Reds. It'd be nice to sweep one of those. But as a player, as a coach, do they even talk like that?
Yeah, no, they can't. They can't because that and I agree with you. I feel like, boy, 2 out of 3 is a must with both series. I mean, I kind of feel that way. But once you start thinking about like a week-long context of playing, players start to think about outcome and not process. And I know we talk about process all the time, but you cannot think about outcome when you compete. We talk about that with certain players, like they start to think about the outcome of pitcher. Say he's just kind of moving along in a game, and then he starts to think, "Ooh, one more inning and I get a win," or "One more inning and I'm done." Once you get to outcome thoughts, you usually self-destruct, unfortunately, because you lose that competitive focus that you need to have. So they won't talk about that with players. They'll just talk about pounding the baseball today and getting people out today, and then worry about tomorrow.
Very interesting. Ricky, have a great series. We thank you.
All right, guys.
Do you know that by donating your gently used items to Goodwill, you're not only giving those items a new life, but you're helping people right here in your community enrich their lives with meaningful work? Your donations support Goodwill's mission of helping people with barriers to employment to be able to get rewarding jobs which provide not only a paycheck, but a very important sense of purpose. Your donations really do change lives. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Cardinals fans, join the conversation at Busch Stadium with some of your favorite former Cardinals. With the Cardinals Conversations presented by Edward Jones, you'll hear from former Cardinals such as Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, Ray Langford, David Eckstein, or David Freese. Each conversation hosted by Cardinals announcers Chip Carey or Brad Thompson. Your experience also will include a ticket to the game, a pre-signed photo, and the opportunity to take your photo with the featured player. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/conversations.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Talk about Michael's Flooring. Mike has been with me for 25 years. He is the simplest, easiest client any radio personality has ever had. Why is that important to you? Because the same sort of laid back, absolutely dude, that'll work for me attitude that Mike has given me for 25 years is the same attitude he's going to give you. When I say that all of my friends and family have been to Michael's, I'm telling you, all my friends and family in 25 years, everyone I know has at some point needed flooring. And to answer your question, yes, people do reach out to me all the time in my personal life and say, like, hey, who's that guy that you talked about for, jewelry or for this or for that? And everyone has been super, super happy with Mike, whether it's wall-to-wall carpeting, which is our, bread and butter, but we also have linoleum and hardwood flooring and pretty much anything you can think of flooring-wise. And we have, all the major brands and all the major lines within them. We're going to have budget lines. We're going to have medium, normal person lines. We're going to have very upscale, this is as nice as flooring gets kind of lines. 3 locations around town. Find the nearest one to you at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses, low-cost tuition, and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Many Americans take a fish oil supplement, often with the goal in mind of heart health, blood pressure, cholesterol, joint comfort. If that's you, you need to hear what the Cleveland Clinic concluded. At best, fish oil pills aren't likely to do much good for your health, and at worst, they could actually increase your risk of stroke. While omega-3 fatty acids are well studied and beneficial, many fish oil supplements contain a low dose of only 2 omega-3 fatty acids. 2. Krill oil from Native Path, on the other hand, contains a powerful extra antioxidant not found in fish oil. That powerful extra antioxidant makes krill oil from Native Path richer in omega-3 antioxidants. Plus, krill oil is better absorbed with higher bioavailability than fish oil, which means your body's getting more of the health benefits of the omega-3s. So do what I did and follow the research. Switch from fish oil to Antarctic krill oil from Native Path. You can get 66% off plus free shipping if you go to krillreport.com and click on my name, Debbie Monterey. krillreport.com for Native Path krill oil.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Have a cool segment coming up at the top of the hour. Make sure you stick with us. We have Sandy and Linda, who served our country back in the 1960s and recently took an all-female honor flight. And they're going to be here to talk about their service and their lives and what it's all meant. And I just met them, and they're delightful.
That's going to be awesome.
Good deal.
Yes, that's coming up at the top of the hour. We have an issue dividing the internet. They're always so stupid, but I always have an opinion on them. So man and wife are going on a trip. The man has business in, let's call it Baltimore, and he is staying at an Airbnb for a week doing business. His wife shows up on Saturday, and they're going to a hotel together to spend a nice romantic weekend. So she wants him to pick her up at the airport. He says, I'm at the hotel. Why don't you just Uber to the hotel? Otherwise, I'm going to have to, because he didn't have his car, I'm going to have to Uber to pick you up at the airport, get out, let the Uber go, call another Uber, get you, and go to the hotel where I'm already sitting. And she got pissed and says, basically, like, maybe the whole weekend should be off, because if you can't even pick your wife up from the airport, he's like, no, honey, I'm just saying it's one trip instead of 2, and we're going to spend the whole weekend together. It's going to be great. What do you think? The internet's like on 50-50 on both sides.
I think he's providing a ride for her, which is nice. I don't understand why he needs to ride in the Uber with her. That seems like you're a baby and you can't ride in a car by yourself. I mean, sorry.
No, you're not
wrong. To
wrong.
be callous, but it's like, just get in the Uber. He's sending you an Uber. That's nice. Why does he have to Uber both ways? That's a little silly.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that they were older. I understand if you're older and you've never Ubered, okay. I'm going to pick you up in an Uber. I'll walk you through this. But I get the idea they're like in their 40s. So,
yeah, like I understand why she would want that and would think it was cute or whatever, but also like, just it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's, unless it's like a 3-hour Uber ride, it's a difference of whether or not, he romantically picks you up at the airport and then the 10-minute Uber ride, which, I mean, those are awkward enough as it is.
I wonder if the men out there in the audience are just like, just pick her up.
It's all about the details, though. Like, how far is the airport from the hotel?
Not far.
Like, if it's 10 minutes, why wouldn't you just do the 10-minute ride each way? Like, big deal. If you know it means something to her. Now, if it's a 45-minute ride and it's literally twice the expense on a 45-minute ride, well, then that's a little sillier. I mean, the devil's in the details, right? If it's just going to cost you 20 minutes and it makes her happy, what's the big problem? But if it's a massive thing, like, okay, now I'm going to spend an hour and a half in the car, 45 minutes each way, and double the Uber price for that, well, that's pretty unreasonable. Isn't that kind of the reasonableness of it is about the distance and time and what's actually being asked?
Yeah, it just feels like sometimes we get fixated on things like, I need my spouse to do this to me for me because it proves that they feel this way. It feels like she has a lot riding on this, that it's like, it's not that deep. It's just more convenient to do it the other way.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town. June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at Cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
Add some star-spangled style to your summer with Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale going on now. Shop Hot Buys for every room in your home, now just $6.99. Plus, you can save up to $1,000 store-wide. And don't miss upgrading your patio. Save up to 20% on select outdoor furniture. Or feel the freedom to buy now and pay over time with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
So when you're talking about divorce, I take it very seriously. I have been divorced. I have done about 200 divorces as an attorney. And I hate the concept of like divorce parties. It's a sad thing, especially when there are children involved. And I have seen how you can take an already precarious position, because let's just be adults here. If you are seeing a divorce attorney, if you're going through a divorce, things aren't great between you and your spouse. But nothing will make them worse like a divorce. And many attorneys, I can say this now freely, many divorce attorneys will whip it up on purpose so that rather than being a $5,000 divorce, it's a $25,000 divorce. Susan L. Ward has been around the block. I've known her for 30 years, and she was great back then. She does not do that ever. if you want to keep things amicable and you want to try to maybe mediate the case, she can oversee that. She will keep things between the rails for you. If someone is not going to cooperate, if someone's being mean, if someone has been abusive emotionally, mentally, physically, addiction problems, then she will be a fierce advocate, but she has every arrow in the quiver. She'll give you a free consultation when you call and let them know that you're from the show. 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence, KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got cloudy sky, 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. President Trump is urging Iran to consider surrendering unconditionally. The president says the U.S. knows where Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is, but for now does not want him killed. The president left the G7 summit in Canada a day early to deal with the situation and is meeting with his National Security Council to discuss the issue. CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd.
In this environment, the intelligence assessment would look at really 2 things. One is the status of Iran's nuclear program after the strikes that have been ongoing for several days. And the second intelligence assessment would relate to what the Iranian regime is thinking. Have they decided to really actively engage in nuclear negotiations, or are they preparing to fight this out until there is more of a military option for them to pursue?
People with hearing and speech disabilities or those in a situation where it's too dangerous to speak can now text 911 in St. Louis County. Police Chief Kenneth Gregory says the dispatchers are trained on how to weed out non-emergency calls.
They're going to ask a bunch of questions to make sure that it's a 911 call, but they're also going to keep in mind that they can't ask too many questions. They're going to get enough of a response from the caller to give them the idea that it is a 911 call, and they're going to dispatch a police car as soon as they can.
Police have a vicinity of where the 911 text is coming from, but not an exact location. If dispatchers do not get a response from the texter, they will call, but not if the texter indicates they cannot speak. Dispatchers determine that by asking a series of questions. The system is operational now. The only carrier that doesn't provide the 911 texting service is Dish. A new family roller coaster is being built at Union Station. It's called Locomotion Mini Spinning Coaster. The ride will have twists and turns while reaching heights of 22 feet. Todd Holdling with LHM says a swinging ship and high swings are also being built.
Flying Louie pirate ship, and that's just a classic amusement ride that swings back and forth, and it's a large 48-foot pirate ship that has 42 seats, and that'll start open at the same time as the coaster.
Which will be August. Day passes will range from $40 to $70. The KMOX Business Desk, Americans cut back on their spending.
The Commerce Department says retail sales fell sharply last month as consumers decreased their spending after a sharp increase in March to get ahead of President Trump's sweeping tariffs. Sales at retail stores and restaurants dropped nearly 1% in May. That compares with a decline of 0.1% in April. There was a steep drop in auto sales after Americans ramped up their car buying in March to get ahead of the president's duty on imported cars and car parts. The sales drop follows sharp declines in consumer confidence earlier this year. I'm Mike Hempen.
The Dow from Stifel down 315 points to 42,200.
Early summer in St. Louis. It's warm to hot and humid, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower.
They're going to edge close to 92 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower 74. Unsettled on Wednesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. Kind of depend on how much sun breaks out during the day. 88 for the high on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, still some thunderstorms around 69. Thursday, it's all gone. Plenty of sunshine and 85. Looks pretty good on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. At Penn Mutual, they believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life. We've got clouds. It is 86. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Tuesday to you. So as you know, we do lots of stuff with the military, and this is the first time we've ever done anything with the women. So this is wonderful. We have Sandy Gormley with us, and we have Linda D'Angelo, and they both took an honor flight that was all female. And so we're going to talk to each one of them and to kind of get their story and how the honor flight was. Nice to meet both of you ladies. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sandy, let's start with you. Just kind of tell me your story about your service.
I joined the Navy in my senior year of college because they offered to pay for it, and I had to serve 2 years. So I served from 64 to 66 at the United States Naval Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, where the presidents go.
Yes.
It was the year after Kennedy was assassinated. So things in Vietnam hadn't ramped up yet, but Vietnam was getting ready to do so. So I took care of a lot of people that were injured there. But it took them a long time to get to the East Coast because, you know, it was a long flight. So I met my husband there. My son was born in the Naval Hospital, and we had 2 VA loans. I got my master's degree on the GI Bill. It was a great experience. I can't say that I regret anything that I did with the military.
That's wonderful. And I see in the notes here that to you, that was also sort of the pinnacle of your nursing career.
Yes.
Yeah. What was that like, taking care of injured soldiers from Vietnam?
Well, I was on enlisted men's surgery, so we had 27 bed wards, open wards. I could see everyone at the same time. And the sickest ones we would put close to the desk where we could, you know, take care of them easily. And as they got better, they would move out. And, of course, sailors are used to helping one another. They live in close quarters on ships. So if someone was sicker than the other, the one that felt better would get up and help his buddy. Wow. They had to clean the wards, swab the decks. We use Navy terms for everything. And you know, dust and keep things in order. It was like they were on a ship, except they were in the hospital. So that's how we were educated at Newport. You know, when I was getting indoctrinated to the Navy, I said, you know, everything is very similar to what they would be doing if they were able to work, and they had to be 100% recuperated before they could go back to work. We also took care of Marines, and they were the ones that had tragic injuries in Vietnam. And I can't even describe some of them because they're just brutal. Tripping over landmines and that sort of thing, if you can imagine. So it took a long time to get them out of the hospital, if they even made it out of the hospital. But we worked very hard.
Yeah. I think that anyone, I am a pretty good caretaker. I do hospice volunteering now, but anything blood and guts, I'm out. I don't even like having my own blood taken. So I think people like you have something special already. But talk a little bit about when confronted with those sort of horrific injuries, how you found another gear to be able to care for those men and keep going.
Well, life is important, and saving lives is really important, and that's why I became a nurse, is to take care of people and help them get well. The worse the injuries, the harder we worked. But the corpsmen were well trained and highly motivated. We also trained the corpsmen to go with the Marine platoons back to Vietnam. So they were very loyal to their compadres, even though it was two different branches of the Navy. Marines don't like to admit they're the amphibious force of the Navy, but the Navy takes good care of them.
Yeah. And Linda, tell me about your service.
Well, I enlisted because I was raised in a small town in rural Illinois. I had
Whereabouts?
Bond County, Greenville.
I know Greenville.
Yeah, Greenville. So I had not been out of the county very much all of my growing up years. I did have an opportunity to go to nursing school, but I'd always been enamored by the uniforms. And Vietnam was ramping up. I had a difficult work situation, and I saw enlistment as an opportunity to travel, to see the world, and to be of service. So I said, I will. My first assignment, I requested the recruiter not send me to Scott because it was only 40 miles from home.
You need to get away from home.
And he chuckled and said, well, I'll send you to Hill Air Force Base, Utah. Well, I thought that was just fine. I'd never seen the mountains or snow out there like that, so it was a great start.
Yeah.
While I was there, I got sent to flight nursing school down at Brooks, so I was a flight nurse and could fly on an airplane. I had never been on an airplane. I didn't know I was airsick every time they took off. I was shortly transferred to Japan, to Tachikawa Air Base outside of Yokota. It was a MAC hospital, an air transport hospital for wounded Vietnam soldiers. They also provided all the care, hospital care for all of Japan, and we had many bases up and down the coast of Japan. So we had lots of traffic through the hospital, some of which was just medical support, but some of which was airplanes coming in from Vietnam.
How were the honor flights? I know off the air, Linda, you said that they were magnificent.
They were magnificent.
Yeah.
I cannot say enough about the organization, the volunteers, the number of people who came out. I think Sandy probably is a better storyteller than me, but we were met at the airport with a host of volunteers, snacks, people in various colored shirts who all had different kinds of tasks, making sure we had water and name tags and badges and all that stuff, and tickets to get on the airplane. We were required to have a guardian come with us, and that could be a family member or a friend. I had always wanted to be a buddy or a guardian, but I got too old. They have an age limit. So I asked an individual that I have worked with very closely where I live, which is Friendship Village. And it's the wellness coordinator, Colleen Pratt. She leads all the classes that I do to stay well and healthy. She has 2 sons who are Army, and so she went as my guardian, but there were lots of other volunteers, doctors, nurses. I just can't name them all. They had all of the things that you would require for people who are older, who are going to spend a whole day away from home in 95-degree weather, walking through memorials and seeing the sights, experiencing some feelings, seeing ceremonies, a flag folding ceremony at the Marine Memorial. I'd never seen that. I'd never been to the Marine Memorial. The changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The Women's Memorial, which I had seen from the outside years ago, but which is now complete with the women's story. And just a tidbit of history, women weren't officially admitted to the military until June the 12th, which was the day we went, 1948. So there's a whole history there. But women have served in the armed forces in various capacities long before that, ferrying airplanes across the U.S. to get them to war.
I just saw a story about those ladies.
Yes.
Does anything stand out to you from your day that was the most impactful to you personally?
Mail call. They do mail call on the way home. Secretly, people have been contacted, friends, families, service organizations, Boy Scout troops, DAR organizations, and asked to write notes, personal notes to veterans. And so on the plane on the way home, we had mail call, and every veteran on that flight got a big envelope that was full of notes and letters from people across the country from every walk of life, including our friends and family who secretly were working behind the scenes.
That's wonderful.
To write notes. So
wonderful.
It was very meaningful.
Sandy, how about you? Tell me about your day.
Well, I guess I started my summary of the day with the way it ended, because when we came off the plane, there were people everywhere at the airport saying, "Welcome home," and "Thank you for your service." And I was in tears. It was like, people said, "Don't cry. You're going to make me cry." But I couldn't figure out why I got so emotional. And then I remembered that being in the Vietnam era, nobody said, "Welcome home," and nobody said, "Thank you for your service" to Vietnam people that were serving in Vietnam when they came home. And finally, after 60 years, we heard it. We all heard it. And it just meant so much. The airport, from the gate, we were at probably the farthest gate away from the entrance. All the way through, there were people on both sides of the airport. All of our family had signs with our names on them, but there were how many people? Just hundreds of people. I don't know how they all got there, if they were just there waiting for flights. Well, of course, they were family and friends, too. And then as we got to the end, they had a bagpipe band playing. And it was just...
It's overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Honor Guard, Boy Scout troops, the nurse corps, the nurse uniform group that dresses up in capes and white hats and stuff were there in force with roses for all the nurses that were coming out. It was very emotional. And I'll just say, I was one of those people who landed at Travis Air Force Base and was told, "Put your civvies on, don't travel in your uniform, don't tell anybody where you've been or what you've seen."
Was that a surprise to you at the time, or did you kind of know that's the way things were going?
I really didn't know. I spent 4.5 years in Japan. I had been home a couple times, family visits, back to go. I have younger siblings, and they were seeing Kent State and marching and burning draft cards and all of what was going on back here. But we really were not exposed to that at all. So my husband and I came back from overseas. We both took advantage of the GI Bill and went back to school and went to work. We didn't, in the beginning, for years and years, we never talked about our experiences. As we got older, we began to support veterans groups and be around other veterans, joined the Legion, and began to participate in more activity. But it was a long time coming.
So my friend Rachel over here is semi-obsessed with Japan. She goes several times per year. What was Japan like in that era?
We spent most of our time on the base, in the hospital, but there was opportunity to travel and see the country. I think for the most part, the Japanese civilians that we worked with were friendly and supportive, but during those years in 73, we were becoming persona non grata in Japan, and it was not unusual to drive the base perimeter roads and have people throw things over the fence at us, food and trash and that sort of thing. But
it's amazing. Amazing stories.
I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I grew up.
Yes.
I did see the trauma of war. I saw those horribly injured soldiers.
So imagine if anyone out there has the chance to go on an honor flight, either as an honoree or as a guardian, do it.
Please do it. Please do it, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I would also encourage people to consider the military as a career, especially in the medical field. I think a lot of people don't want to fight. They don't want to carry a gun or something like that. But I think the medical service was very rewarding for me.
And for me.
So
and for my guardian who has two sons that were Army, I mean, one has served and is out and working productively. The other one's accomplishing great things in the Army, and in addition to getting skills that will take him forward.
That's wonderful. Well, on behalf of all of us and everyone in my audience, again, thank you for your service.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
inviting us.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824, and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Let me tell you guys about Mosby Building Arts and the summer sale that they have going on now. First of all, I'm kind of assuming if you're listening to KMOX, you know the name Mosby. Mr. Mosby did a great show on the weekends for decades. Now his people still carry it on. He's still absolutely involved in the business. They're kind of the gold standard for the kind of stuff that they do. So it's pretty easy to sell you on Mosby Arts. But I do want to tell you that they're having a summer sale. Sale is running across multiple project categories like entry doors, garage doors, decks, outdoor living projects. And I always say, if there's something that you have seen online, if you've been to someone's house and you're just so jealous of their outdoor situation, maybe they have a pizza oven and they have an outdoor this, and then just whatever it is that you have seen, whatever it is that you can imagine or draw up on a cocktail napkin, Mosby Building Arts can make it happen. So here are some typical monthly payments. Entry doors starting at $79 a month, garage doors $69 a month, decks from $299 a month. Outdoor projects are going to have custom pricing because every outdoor kitchen is different. Every fireplace, porch, pergola, they're all going to be according to your design. Go to Call Mosby, Mosby, that's callmosby.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Well, that was super cool.
That was amazing.
Very cool.
Very, very cool to hear their stories.
Yeah, just the way the world has changed. You know, when we were finished and they're getting up and leaving, they said that we had pregnant pilots and, you know, all these different military women, and said when it was us, it was just nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just during my lifetime, and they're talking about the years I was born. So it just in my lifetime, that's how much things have changed.
Man, Honor Flight is so cool. That is such an amazing idea.
Yes.
And like they were saying before we started, I don't know if this made it to the air, only been around for the past 20 years.
Which is shocking to me. I mean, I've been around for 25, and I thought they'd been around the whole time and years before that. So it's not that old.
No.
But a really, really great way to honor those who have served.
Yes.
It's also such a cool, different story.
Yeah.
For the two of them, right? It's a
Yeah.
completely different experience. Not that none are better than the others.
Right.
That's just a story and a view of it that most of us probably haven't heard.
Yeah.
I know I hadn't.
I love Linda's story that she wanted to get out of Greenville, and they sent her to Utah.
Yeah.
And they sent her to Japan.
Yeah. Well, you got out.
Yeah, imagine being my dad, growing up in Benton, Illinois,
Yeah.
with a 9th grade education, 17 years old, and suddenly you're in the South Pacific
Yeah.
for 4 years.
Yeah. I found out, by the way, just this weekend talking to my mom, because your dad and my grandfather on my mom's side are basically the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the same thing in that he went in early and fudged his age
Yeah.
to get in. It wasn't as early, I don't think, as your dad, but it was the same idea. Like, that's how those
Yeah.
guys were doing it.
Yeah, the story is my dad found my grandpa drunk at a poker game,
And he
which
got
was
him
not
to
hard
sign
to
off.
do, and got him to sign off. And my dad was a little dude. He was
Yeah.
like 5'6", 120 pounds
Man.
when he went in. Yeah.
That's not, you know what? That's funny. That's possible. I bet you that was what my dad was when he went into the Army during Vietnam.
Yeah.
He was a little guy.
Yeah.
Like in high school, wrestling at like 110 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about this morning? I don't know if anyone else in the world is like this. I have, this sounds so stupid to even say. I have a trash can in my kitchen, and it's my main trash can. And it's the classic step on it, it opens its mouth, you throw the trash in. There's nothing interesting about it. But I sort of track my week. Like today, I took the trash out. I hate taking the trash out. I don't know what it is about it. I just hate it. And so I started a new trash can. And the world is my oyster.
Yeah, okay,
Everything
I know
fits.
exactly how you feel.
It's like I
Don't have to keep smashing it down.
right.
Yeah.
I threw an empty milk can in there, and I'm just like, there's so much room.
Dude, I do the same thing when I feed Lucy in the mornings. If I just took the trash out the night before, I'm like, let me throw that away for you, ma'am. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun at that point to use the trash
And
can.
I almost physically get in it and jam it down so I don't have to take the trash out.
Yeah. Well, you're just being more efficient,
Then
Dave.
by the time you take it out,
Can't get it out.
you can't get it out. Exactly.
Yeah. It's just being efficient, Dave. You're making maximum use of each bag.
Am I the only one who, like, there are certain things they have to go in the kitchen trash can, they cannot go in the bathroom trash can?
Like what?
Like, I don't know. Just like anything that's not bathroom trash.
Yeah, I feel you.
It can't be put, I mean, I know it's all going to the same place, but ultimately, you got to put it in the right trash can or else the world is upside down.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
The great thing about Nootbaar, he's a very influential player, but that works both ways. He can propel your lineup or he can bring your lineup down, and we've seen both of that this season. But that's kind of baseball too, unless you have this super lineup, you're going to have fluctuations.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters.
Let me tell you guys about Neovitin. Neovitin is, for my money, and I do spend my own money on it, the best multivitamin that you can get. I love it because it's reasonable. I always tell the story when I was in college and I was really into weightlifting, and I was taking these really expensive mega packs from this, supplement store, and the team doctor, they did some blood work on me or urine test, and he thought I was using some sort of, performance enhancing drugs because everything was elevated, and he told me, you can shut your organs down by doing this, by spending too much time taking all these vitamins. If you have high cholesterol like I do, your doctor's probably told you need to get more omega-3 fish oils. We have that, but the Neovitin capsules do not taste the least bit fishy. So everything you need, nothing that you don't. You can find it locally at Schnucks or online at neovitin.com.
It's time for Dave Murray's forecast.
Early summer in St. Louis. It's warm to hot and humid, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower. They're going to edge close to 92 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower, 74. Unsettled on Wednesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. Kind of depend on how much sun breaks out during the day. 88 for the high on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, still some thunderstorms around 69. Thursday, it's all gone. Plenty of sunshine and 85. Looks pretty good on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou. With your home sold, Guaranteed Realty, 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold Guaranteed Realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what?
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tonight, the Cards, the White Sox.
Cameron Total Access 545.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX 233. We are off Thursday because of the Cardinals have a 1:10 game, but we are going to do a podcast about an hour, give or take, and so be looking for that. We'll remind you again tomorrow, but that's going to drop on Thursday morning.
Sure, we could do Thursday morning. I mean, we can do Thursday morning, we can do afternoon.
Is it amazing to you, Andrew, that I know so little about how this thing works?
No, because it's like, it's not something that you're supposed to know about.
Okay, good.
You know?
Dave's like, whew.
Yeah, fine.
And there's no real, like, need for you to know about any of it, or, you know.
Probably a good need for me not to.
Could
you
be
don't
argued.
want me involved in stuff I don't know what I'm talking about.
Could be argued.
Yeah. Anyone know what bibliotherapy is?
Yes.
Treated books.
You get hit with books on the back really hard.
Somebody knocks
like
your
a
books out of
massage
your
with a
hands
book.
at school.
Nope, it's just reading.
Just reading to people?
But now it's caught on that you need bibliotherapy.
Okay, so just
Man,
just need someone. We don't need more names for things.
I know this is like
you always say, this generation.
But is that a new generation thing, or is that a doctor thing? Like
it's a doctor thing.
Yeah, like okay, we could just say, you know, what would be really helpful for you is if we could have people read to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it you reading for yourself too?
It's both.
It's both.
It's primarily you reading for yourself.
Okay, well then we could just call it that.
Yeah.
You should, for your own health, you should read some.
I wonder how many parents are reading to their little kids nowadays.
Oh,
good question.
It's just in experience, it's the number one thing you can do for little ones.
It's wonderful.
I mean,
I miss it.
We did for our daughter Shannon, and like from day one, like even when she couldn't really speak much or understand words, like just getting that time. And it teaches language skills, comprehension. They put stories together with pictures.
Okay, don't go after me. Genuine question. I know it's a little stupid, but it's a genuine question.
All right.
How do you read? No. Do you see a huge difference between like you reading to your kids or you putting on like a YouTube video of someone reading to your kids?
They both have value. It's better in person.
Okay.
Because they're also reading off of like your tone of voice. You're telling and it's your connection to them too. So there's more than it's more. Right. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we also we weren't the people that are like, you're never going to watch TV. No, our kid learned a lot of language from computer software programs that taught reading to Sesame Street and things along those lines. So no, they're all useful. They're all helpful. But they obviously shouldn't replace like in-person time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the in-person time, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this. We all had dinner together on Father's Day, and we're just laughing about all the different books that we remember. Do you guys, is it anything for you? I love you forever. I something.
I like you for always, as long as I'm living. My baby, you'll be.
Yes. The creepy ass one?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great to revisit as an adult because it's like, what's going on here? But it's a sweet book at the same time.
Yeah, we read it to both the kids. You won't know about this because you don't know, like, even Johnny Appleseed wheels. In this book,
this book is about emotions.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably skip that one.
Yeah, it's a thing that makes you feel hot inside.
Oh.
So
I call that anger.
Things that make you feel mad, emotions.
Yeah.
The mom is always taking care of her son. What is it again? I'm there for you always.
I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby, you'll be.
There you go.
That's the book?
I think it's just called I Love You Forever, but it's the line they repeated over
But
and
then
over.
at the end, his mom is struggling, and for some reason, the kid doesn't come through the door. He climbs through her bedroom window and holds her in a chair and rocks her.
Which is very sweet, but it is weird that he comes through the window.
Both my kids were like,
this is some
why
Gypsy Rose
Why did
stuff.
this guy come through the door? Why didn't he call his mom, say he's coming over? Why has he got to surprise her? This is creepy. Like, little kids, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really odd.
It's called a creative choice, kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to evoke an emotional response.
Wheels, what's the news about my favorite TV show?
Did you see?
No.
The Pit's coming back.
Oh, yes.
Did you see?
I didn't see when or anything.
No, I didn't see exactly when either, but like how excited do you guys get about something like that? Like a show like this this is your future, this is going to be your future career.
Yeah, cuz I don't have many. I don't have many shows.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, so this must be like big news that, Noah Wiley's back doing doctor stuff.
But it's like, how can, it's like, I can't get excited for it. It's like, I'll be excited when it's out.
So you don't anticipate anything?
Not really, because like you do this a lot in the office. You'll be like, Andrew, did you hear they're making a talking dog movie? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'll go.
That's not what I would say.
I'll go see the talking dog movie, but I don't care that they're making it. Like, I'll wake me up when it's out and I can watch it. Like, I don't really care about that it's being created. Like, I'll get excited when I'm like driving to the movie theater to see it.
See, that's a very Wheeler answer.
It is. It's like probably the most Wheeler thing about me.
I say it's the only thing that you're like that.
It's the only thing that we are reversed on, right?
It's like being around you.
Like when we order pizza, it's like, can't wait for that pizza. Can't wait for that pizza. He's checking his clock and he's looking at the.
And Wheeler does get excited about like if they're making like a cool new movie or whatever.
The anticipation.
Like the anticipation. It's like the only way he and I are reversed.
That's funny, isn't it?
I order a burrito at Rosalita's and I'm like, I can't wait for that burrito.
In fairness, a lot of those things are disappointing though. Like the projects that we're talking about, like a big new Star Wars movie or whatever. Like a lot of times they are a disappointment. And I think that's the sports fan in me though, because the big thing about like what I've done for 30 years is the off season's as big as the season. You're always like, what's next? What's coming? What are they going to do? What are they going to trade? What are they going to sign? And I think that I'm the same way when it comes to all entertainment.
But you know what? I do feel that way about like the
same
sports off season. Like I love following like the NFL off season and stuff and all the transactions. And so I'm not when it comes to like sports, I'm not like, hey, wake me up when they're on the field or whatever. I am like really interested in that stuff.
It's funny you brought up Star Wars. I wrote something down last night. I was in the zone. I don't know exactly why I wrote this down, but I wrote down George Lucas is a hack.
He kind of is.
You don't remember what made you think of this?
No.
To be clear, he is arguably like the biggest hack in the history of the Earth.
Granted.
He had one of the greatest sci-fi ideas of all time.
Yeah.
And imagined
what if there was a war in space?
And imagined a great universe. But obviously, a lot of that movie is based on other things. I mean, he's even said it's based on the fall of the Roman Empire.
Based
and
on his real life.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Jar Jar was his neighbor.
But the originals were great in the time that they were because we didn't have the ability to get better than that, right? Mm-hmm. And then when they made 20 years later, they made the episodes 1, 2, and 3. You were like, oh, he's not very good at this. He has, again, great universe, great imagination, great, and yes, he's got a lot of, oh my God. It's always, like the bad guys are always Asian sounding, or the dumb guys, Jar Jar sounds like, what did they say he sounded like? Jamaican is what people would argue. Like all the bad guys had accents that would seem like, accents that are not British or American.
Right. Yeah.
And then all the good guys were British American
and questionable like alien designs and just kind of like
right.
Just kind of like, what did he mean by that?
But I would also say that
I like you more than you guys do.
No, but think about it, Dave. Like think about in the 70s, that was not an uncommon thing. It's like and this is not a defense, it's just like that was not a thing that people talked about or thought about in that time. Like what's his name that did the stupid movies where he would pretend to be a Japanese guy? Lewis.
No, Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, no, not Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis. That's a music guy.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis.
And he married his cousin.
Like,
that guy had so many problems.
A lot going on.
We see that now. We're like, wow, that is super racist, because it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't seen that way at the time, and it probably wasn't intended that way at the time, but it certainly is.
Yeah. Also, large amounts of those movies were like kind of shadow directed by his good friend Steven Spielberg.
Yes, exactly right.
And large amounts of them were like rewritten by the actors. Like
exactly
Harrison
right.
Ford wrote pretty much everything that Han Solo
He's like,
ever
I'm
said.
not saying that.
Because he'd go up and he'd be like, people don't talk like this, George. I can't say this. I'm going to say this instead. And then George would be like, okay.
Which is what all of them should have said in episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, yeah, nobody talks like this.
See, Davey was a good thought.
Yeah.
No, Dave, you're not wrong. Even
Okay.
there was there's a spark there that set off a lot, but there's a lot of hackery in there too.
But he also came up with Yoda, so come on now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some good.
Not all bad.
Came up with lightsabers. That's cool.
You know what else I did last night? I was watching TikTok, and I'm sure you've seen these, where it's like Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, and it's the cartoon, and then they morph into an AI real human version.
Ugh, get that out of my face.
I am normally like that, but I watched like 20 minutes of this last night. and not like multiple ones. It was just like...
Directed by George Lucas.
It just kept starting over again. And I'm like, oh, what'd Wilma look like? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm so tired of AI already, and I know that AI is going to be the rest of my life, so it's just kind of depressing. It's not going to go away.
No.
you know?
No. It's going to be as common as every other piece of technology we use now.
Here's something kind of cool. So we have bioluminescent animals. We've all seen like deep sea creatures and things like that.
Yeah.
Guess what else they've discovered is bioluminescent? Your brain. That within your darkened skull,
There's
it's
light.
lighting up.
Kind of cool.
It lights up itself.
It makes sense, though. There's electricity.
And they think it has something to do with our cognition.
Oh.
The bioluminescent.
So when they say
essence
you're
of it.
bright, they might mean it literally.
It could be.
But doesn't bioluminescence, like, always serve... Now, this is the stupidest thing I've ever said. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But doesn't it always serve some kind of, like, evolutionary purpose? Like, it helps
You
you
would
hunt,
think.
or it helps you attract prey, or
No, you would
avoid
think.
prey.
They think that it's not so much that it's just the basic essence of how it works.
It just happens.
It's electricity.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen because it has to. It just happens because it does.
It's a part of what it's. I mean, if electricity is going to be present, there will be sparks.
Yeah.
It's the result, not necessarily the evolutionary need.
Yeah.
Although, like, if you glow at the bottom of the ocean, that's pretty useful.
Hey,
'cause
what
all
if
those-
we
you're gonna see-
do our Thursday podcast in all baby talk?
Nah.
Bioluminescence.
No.
Oh, now hold on just there, doctor.
What's wrong with Andrew's baby talk?
I don't know,
there's
man.
something wrong
It's
with your
weird.
baby.
You sound like
It's not like Bugs Bunny.
yeah. You got to work on that.
I don't spend a lot of time talking like a baby. Well, that's not true.
I'm just a baby. Baby Wabbit.
If we
I
could
did
all
also,
just,
I think, say,
we
what's
could,
up,
We
doctor?
could modify this in an acceptable way and all just talk like Elmer Fudd.
Wheeler's so terrified we're going to do baby talk.
Or you can go right ahead. I'll just be
It's
like,
the first thing I've seen you
Baby
afraid
talk
of.
time.
I'm just not going to do it.
He's afraid of the vulnerability required to talk like a baby.
Just say it like a little baby.
Not
He's like a
gonna do
little
it.
guy.
Not gonna do it.
Baby Wheeler.
Okay, AI baby,
Baby
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good use of AI.
That would be great.
Can we do it?
It would just be Cartman.
Yeah, that's what he's scared of. It's that Baby Wheeler is Cartman. We all talking like this, and then little Baby
I'll be
Wheeler's like,
I'm so mad. I hate you guys. Bad kitty. I can't believe they sent him down to AAA. Where are my cheesy boots?
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. They are having a sale right now where you can, choose the way you want to go about it, which I think is wonderful. Isn't it great that a company gives you a true choice? And they're both good. But for example, during the sale right now, their home improvement sale, you can get payments as low as $99 a month on your Windows, or no payments and no interest for an entire year, which gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal of your new Windows before you ever make a payment. This is a great company. Really good people. I know them. They've been very good to me. I've had hundreds of listeners reach out to them, dozens of them at least, do a whole house full of windows. I've heard from them. They email me. Universal Windows Direct have been wonderful to them. I like a company that keeps it simple. I like a company that gives me options. Locally, call 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
On the Chris and Amy Show, we're launching 100 Acts of Kindness because apparently honking less in traffic doesn't count as charity.
We're teaming up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to prove kindness doesn't have to cost a dime.
Hold the door, say thank you, help your neighbor take out their trash without throwing yours in first.
No grand gesture required, just small, simple acts of human decency. We believe in you.
Join us and share your stories with hashtag 100KindActs.
Kindness, it's like a group hug without the awkwardness.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. 250. I probably shouldn't say this because it'll offend somebody. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, even our enemies. But have you seen the clip of the Iranian lady on Iranian state TV when the missiles hit? You got to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So it's Iranian state TV. So there's the lady in the whole garb, and she's just like, and another thing to all you white monkeys out there following Christ, we're going to kick your asses up and down the Gulf and blah, 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 blah. And then you hear, and she just goes like, yang, 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 and she just goes running off. You watching it?
I don't know. It's playing, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
You know what?
There's something comedic. I'm sorry, but there's something very like slapsticky about it.
In my head, I was hearing "oop" right with
yeah, right.
"Oop."
Yeah,
it was kind of like what was the guy's name in Iraq? I mean, everybody jokingly called him Baghdad Bob, but the guy that would say like everything's fine, we're winning. There are no Americans in Baghdad. Meanwhile, like a tank is rolling behind him in the screen.
Right. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, it's not about like you're right. It's not about the injury, and you hope nobody was hurt in those kind of things. But like, it's also easy to talk, and not as easy to back those things up.
Mm-hmm. Better believe it. We're seeing it right now.
In general, we experienced that here too. We did a lot of dumb things in Iraq, for example. Afghanistan, we are like, we're going to roll right through there. Well, 20 years later, still trying to figure out how to get out of there without ruining everything and ruined anything.
No one rolls through Afghanistan.
No.
And kind of bearing the lead on the show here today, we try not to talk about politics, but evidently all the headlines on television and on all the websites is that we are now officially in the war. I'm not sure what that means or why they're saying that. But I just keep seeing this. So
I don't believe that's an official.
No, I don't
thing.
think we've declared war, but something has happened.
Well, I mean, when maybe it's just as simply as when Donald Trump was posting about Khomeini, he was saying we know where he is, that kind of thing. So maybe people just read into that.
Could be.
He posted to social media today, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran.
Yeah, so that's probably why it's gone that way, even though there's been no, at least the one that I'm aware of, no formal announcement of us joining in any official capacity other than helping an ally.
You know, another thing on another story, the shooter that killed the state senator. Rach, you've said this almost every time we have like a school shooting or something like this, but this one really gets to me. I don't care about this person. I think that the FBI should care about his motivation. They should go through everything with a fine-tooth comb so they can try to prevent the next one or to make sure this guy sees justice. But I hate every second that they show his face. I hate every second they say his name. And just the intrigue, you know, like this guy doesn't deserve intrigue. He doesn't deserve people being fascinated by him, even darkly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you would think we would have maybe learned our lesson when the Boston bomber was on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That might have like sobered up the general public.
I forgot about that.
But we certainly have an appetite for it. It's very sad to me.
And yeah, and it doesn't help either that when we have things like this, we have children in positions of power, like senators trolling after a politically motivated
what's up
shooting.
with Mike Lee?
I mean, like,
do you see that, Rach?
Yes.
And to my knowledge, he has not appeared anywhere and apologized and said I was a jerk and wrong. He just deleted the post.
Yeah.
But we've got that. We've got official government accounts trolling and talking trash to other people. Like, can you not at least act like you have the important job that you do? You don't have to make like you agree with everybody. You don't have to concede to your opponents, but you can be professional. I mean, since when do I say this? Since when do senators troll on social media? But I mean, since when does the president do that, or any other important person? You're always trying to own somebody. We're going to own MAGA. We're going to own the libs. Like, can we just grow up? If we had more grown-ups doing things, regardless of ideology, things would be a lot nicer.
Yeah, Amy Klobuchar said that, and Mike Lee did tweet this from his personal account, which I guess is slightly better than tweeting from his senatorial account, but it's still disgusting. Amy Klobuchar was like, I'm going to be saying something to him in person when I see him in Congress. I'm not saying like Amy's going to take care of it, y'all, but more people need to do that. More people need to, in person, stand up for what is right and not let these people just hide behind their keyboard.
I want to say this right, because I don't mean that I'm going to respect someone who does something dirty like that, where you're going to immediately go conspiracy theory on a news story before letting law enforcement figure out what exactly is going on. Which is, again, it's one thing if it's a bunch of bots or if it's a bunch of, influencers who are just trying to troll and get clicks and all that. But again, when you're a senator, governor, representative, mayor, whatever your job is, you should be professional about how you handle these things and trust law enforcement first. I would at least have some respect for the people that do that if they would actually stand in front of the people they offended and either defend themselves or apologize, but they're cowards. Every one of them's a coward.
Tell you guys about my friends over at Triton Exteriors. Kind of twofold. They do exteriors, right? They do roofing, they do siding, they do gutters, they do fences. So sometimes it's with fences, sometimes it's, you know what I'm going to buy for us, honey? A beautiful fence for our backyard. We're going to sit out there at night and we're going to have, that's cool. But no one is just doing gutters for fun. No one's doing roofs for fun. It's been damaged by the weather or just by age or you're moving or just something like that has happened. So my point is sometimes it's fun money. Most of the time it's not. So you're not looking to spend any more than you have to. With Triton Exteriors, I promise you, guaranteed, that the bid you get, whether it's $3,000 or $30,000, they are standing by, ready and happy to go item by item, line by line, and justify everything they do. Not many people will do that in the exteriors business. Call 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
You had a solid retirement dream: sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky, 87 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Alderwoman from the 10th, you are recognized.
St. Louis Alderman today approved spending $30 million in RAM settlement funds on tornado relief. That amount comes solely from interest accrued. The settlement itself remains untouched. The funding is set to help with home repairs and temporary housing and fixing damaged infrastructure. This comes in addition to $100 million in state and FEMA aid, which is also becoming available. Should the average American care about federal law enforcement handcuffing elected officials like California Senator Alex Padilla or New York Controller Brad Lander? Illinois U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth gave her view on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Alex Padilla is a tough guy. I'm less worried about Alex Padilla than I am more worried about the American people who sees that. Like, if they can do that to a U.S. Senator, what are they going to do to me when I speak up?
But Duckworth says that's the most effective thing an American can do right now.
The most patriotic thing you can do in this nation is to speak your mind. It's how we became a nation. We told a king, go away, we don't want you anymore. And that is what I served in uniform for, to protect that First Amendment right. And so I say to Americans, exercise those First Amendment rights.
It could be a lifesaver, texting 911 in an emergency. Now, anybody in St. Louis County has that option. It's especially helpful for the hearing or speech impaired and people in situations who can't speak because it's dangerous. If the texter says that's the situation, then dispatchers will not call back. Veronica Claiborne is communications director for St. Louis County Police.
We have a basic format depending on the type of calls. So the first one we want to know is where you are and what's going on, and based on the incident are the questions that they will ask during the conversation.
When a 911 text is received, the dispatchers know the vicinity that it's coming from, but not an exact location. If a dispatcher is not able to make contact with the texter, they may call. Dish is the only carrier that does not provide the 911 texting service. Union Station is paying homage to the Louisiana Purchase Exposition by including high swings inside its new amusement park area. Todd Hodling with LHM explains the Wave Swinger,
which is basically a themed 1904 World's Fair ride that lifts guests up into the air and swings them around. It goes about 40 to 50 feet high up in the air, and that's going to have 64 seats on.
Also being built right now at Union Station is a family roller coaster and a swinging ship. They are set to open in August. Amazon's Prime Day is going even more plural.
Amazon Prime Day will stretch to 4 days this year, twice as long as in years past. The tradition started a decade ago with the inaugural event held on July 15, 2015, to coincide with Amazon's 20th anniversary. Since then, it's expanded to include more days, more countries, and more fanfare. The news comes on the same day Amazon CEO Andy Jassy wrote in a note to employees that artificial intelligence will reduce Amazon's total corporate workforce in the next few years. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index with Stifel's Scott Bedell. Scott?
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. Escalating concern about Middle East tensions weighed on investors' mind today, causing a wide decline in prices across the board. At the 3 p.m. close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 299 points, or 0.7% to 42,215. The Standard & Poor's 500 index slid 0.8% to 5,982, while the NASDAQ Composite Index lost 0.9% to 19,521. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index also losing ground today, falling 0.75% at 1,539. Looking at some stocks of local interest, Future Fuel up 3.8% at $4.36. Peabody Energy gained 3.33% at $14.07. On the downside, Stifel Financial slid 1.5% to $95.97. Energizer down a little bit more than 2% at $20.49. While Anheuser-Busch lost a little more than 1%, they closed at $70.49. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
There's a crash on 141 going south at Old Missouri State Road. That's got the right lane closed. Stall 44 east at 270 north. That's on the right shoulder there. Stall 70 east at Route K. That's on the right shoulder. 55 north at Virginia on the right shoulder. A crash on 70 west at Route A. That's got the right two lanes closed there.
It's that summer feel going through our Tuesday afternoon. Partly sunny skies, kind of hot and very humid, maybe a spot shower. We're going to try to make 92 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a spot shower, 74. Wednesday, unsettled, partly to mostly cloudy skies, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. It's going to depend on how much sun we see on Wednesday. 88 for the high. That will continue into Wednesday evening. So the prime time is anytime Wednesday up until about 9 o'clock Wednesday evening for strong to severe thunderstorms, though I don't think it's a widespread outbreak. Plenty of sunshine Thursday and 85. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got a cloudy sky across the region. It's 87 in St. Peter's, Florissant, and downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
We are Metro Transit. We don't just help ourselves and our neighbors get where we need to be. We help our whole region get where we want to be. Get on board at rideonmetro.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DG Ask 104.1 FM KMOX. Welcome to the Jeff Fitter Show.
Hey, thank you for the parking spot, by the way. It was nice of you to have my name on it.
I just do what I'm told.
I didn't get the memo.
I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate you having my parking spot for me.
Yeah, my workday wife. She tells me what to do and I do it. So.
And listen, you noticed that I brought you brisket, which I know you love, but I text her to make sure that what I was bringing her was what she wanted. I know who to keep happy with. Sorry. I mean, you'll enjoy the brisket. I brought 2 pounds. I brought 2 pounds. Okay. It's fine.
That's good for me.
So that's my barbecue buddy, the king of barbecue in St. Louis, Jeff Fitter. He was just on last week, and he'll be on again, I think, tomorrow. And he has brought in a new friend, Jennifer Bardot, the author, compiler of Successful Entrepreneurs with Grit. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
How did this happen?
Well, his wife was in Resilience. That was my 3rd book. And then I was like, Jeff, knock, knock, knock.
Nice.
So he decided to participate in this one. This is number 7.
Yes, that's exactly how it happened. And now, the Jennifer Bardot Show.
No, don't you do that to me. You've been a part of the whole journey. He's gone to the galas and everything. He used to feed all of my expos. So, yeah, he's been a part of the journey.
Is that your real last name?
Bardot, yeah.
That's lovely.
Bardot.
That's
Sometimes
wonderful.
it gets butchered.
Yeah. People say Bardot.
Yeah.
That's a kick in the balls.
It's great for spelling, though. I'm like, Bardot. Yeah.
No, Bridget Bardot was such a big thing when I was a kid. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So tell us about the book.
Yeah. So this is the 7th anthology in the Grit collection, but this is the first one where I've actually featured men. Prior, I'd only featured women. So there's 27 authors in this collection. They share hardships of grit, growth, resilience, intention, tenacity, which I trademarked. So the stories are hard, challenging, inspiring, failures, wins, all of it. It's good.
Mine has a bunch of misspellings in it. It's
it's nonsensical.
It starts off with, I'm so dumb I dropped out of high school twice. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
It took you an hour to write me write words.
Yes. Well, I did it through typing, and at one finger at a time, it's hard.
Yeah. I have been working on the same book forever. For me, I physically don't like writing. I like the typing thing. Like my hands feel weird, and you know what I mean? So I just don't do it because I'm lazy. But yeah, it's funny that you're here because last night I wrote on my show sheet, like everything fits on one page for a 4-hour show. I wrote hard life equals richest people because my life has been hard. Not as hard as some people. It's all relative. It's a bell curve. I get it. But now that I'm 60, I think I can go, yeah, that was pretty friggin' hard. But I feel like I'm a rich, textured person because of it. Lots of flaws, very compromised. But if I were to die right now and there's like a tribunal and they're like, what'd you think? I'd be like, that was effed up. But my soul learned a lot, right?
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's I think it's also an age thing, right? So I read a quote the other day that said, "The closer I am to death, the more I appreciate life." And it's true. Like I'm 54, but now I got grandkids. Like all my priorities have changed. Like we were talking before we got on the show about the kids and growing up and how life was. It's different for me now than it was then.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I actually now I only wrote a chapter and it was limited to words. Thank God, because it was tough for me to even get to that point. But
you're double spacing.
Listen,
Widen the
she was kind enough to give us a writing coach, and I'm like, "What are the rules again?" And he's like, "Oh, this." And I'm like, "No, can I make it big, bigger font? That's got to help, right?"
14 point.
Right, ish. So, but that's one of the things that I brought up in the book is that when you're going through life at the younger age, your focus is taking care of your family. Your focus is surviving in some cases, right? And now I get to live life, but now I got grandkids. So now I work for them. Now I'm looking forward to leaving a legacy for them moving on versus what I did with the kids. So it's a pretty cool deal. It's a pretty cool deal. I was very kind of her to invite me to
You're the oldest 54-year-old I know. You're talking about death
listen,
already.
well, have you seen? Listen, I'm 54 years old. I don't know if you can. Most people can't see me, but this growth on my face is almost 6 months. Like I'm not a hairy person, but I finally have facial hair, so I'm keeping it.
Not gonna lose it.
Not.
I don't have facial hair.
That was
Congratulations.
That was a weird 60 seconds, wasn't it?
Too funny. No, I love all the struggles, and that's why I create these anthologies to showcase people's voices, because it is the hardships that create the hope. And I don't know, it's the mud that you're drawn into that really
Yeah.
helps you like overcome your struggles and see your strength.
What initially brought you to do this? Like, what was the germ of your idea to start the whole project?
Yeah, so during COVID, right? I'm at home with 3 boys. One's learning to read virtually. He's in kindergarten. The other one's like changing his diapers. And my oldest is so smart. He's finishing all his homework online before school starts. And here I am trying to secure all these PPP loans because I was a banker at the time. I was a senior business banker. And my clients were struggling and the world was struggling. And I thought, what's within my tiny wheelhouse that I could create hope? So that's when the first anthology came out, and it rolled out to like 6 more. So I'm just really focused on grit. And the root of all that is because I have been struggling since I was in the 3rd grade, and I will until I am dead because I have dyslexia. And like talk about challenging and reading and writing, I couldn't, and I still have a struggle. But talk text. So when you finish your book, you got to talk to text because that's the way I've been able to accomplish a lot of things.
I'll give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have found because so I have a pretty spotty background, childhood, which left me with many gifts, and but I didn't know that. I just knew I acted a certain way, and I felt a certain way that didn't seem to be the way other normal people did. And then over the past 20 years or so, I've done therapy, and just in the past year, I said to my therapist, I think I get it. I really do. I think I could teach classes on this. I understand how this leads to this. He said, I agree with you. You're a smart guy. But the bad part is that doesn't get you healed. Understanding things intellectually is like step 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that after 20 years of therapy, well, you could have said that 18 years ago.
They keep taking your money, though. Huh?
Right? Yeah.
See, I actually have 2 masters in counseling, so I got you.
but I'm sure that resonates with you.
Yeah, for sure. It does. 100%. Yeah. It's like our brain already knows these things, but it takes us a while to actually allow ourselves to figure it out.
Yeah, you have to swallow the pill. You can't just keep it in your mouth. Like, this is going to be good at some point.
Does anybody else want Dave to be their therapist? Like, that would be
man.
fun.
Yeah, that
He
would be
is for
fun.
all of
be
us
fun.
in real time on the radio.
Fair enough.
I had one therapist who literally, after 2 years, said, I can't be your therapist anymore. I've grown very fond of you, and I just want to be your friend. That happened.
Wow. Sir.
Yeah.
That's very unethical.
I was like, okay.
But also a compliment.
See you next week for coffee?
Right. so you're saying
next
this
time
is
you're
going through
buying.
insurance?
Yeah, I guess a compliment.
Next time they're buying, though.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start charging you $185 an hour. So tell me more about your specific chapter.
You know, I guess more my chapter mostly focuses on the how I got here. You know, I always we've talked about this at great length over some wine and beer at a barbecue contest or 5. I always knew that I would be in the restaurant business. I always knew that I wanted to have a restaurant. At the time, I always thought it was going to be some kind of diner, some kind of short order cooking. And then when I met Terry Black and started cooking with Super Smokers, I obviously fell in love with barbecue, and that's where it ended up. But you know, every action, every opportunity that I had from a business perspective, I had to grasp it with both hands. While I was jokingly said I dropped out of high school twice, I literally dropped out of high school twice. I got a GED. I have no college education. Well, no college degree. I went to college, but I never graduated anywhere. So everything I did was harder because I didn't have that. You know, as now I'm older, I realize that, you know, when you're interviewing people and you talk to them about their education, it's not really about what they learned. It's about their commitment to it. It's about their ability to finish something they started. Well, I was just some dumb 18-year-old who thought I had the world by its tail, and I'd make it. I'm a smart guy. I can figure it out. What I didn't realize is that I'd have to work twice as hard as everybody else. So what I did is every opportunity I had, I used it to its fullest. I learned everything I could learn about every aspect. I was very fortunate to work at a company here locally in St. Louis. I was able to rise through the ranks. But more importantly, the people that I worked with very much, and I probably didn't appreciate it as much then as I do now. And I've since kind of made those amends. But the things that I did, I was in the corrections industry. I worked for a commissary vendor in the corrections industry. And the installs, I was in IT. The installs I did, the places I went, the experiences that I had, the people that I worked with taught me so much about business, taught me so much about how to handle things appropriately. And I don't always handle them correctly. However, when COVID came, I literally sat in my living room with my wife, Michelle, and said, well, what are we going to do now? Like we're shut down. We're in St. Louis County. We can't do nothing. Everything I went through while working in the corporate world, I was able to rely on, lean back on some lessons learned there, and get out and get after it. And we actually ended up having a record revenue year during COVID, which really didn't mean much because costs are so high. We still lost our tails, but it helped me in so many places in so many areas. And I think that's, for me, that's one of the things that I think is very underrated when you're younger in life. You have all these opportunities. You have all these people that are, maybe not everybody, but everybody I was lucky to be around was willing to teach me as long as I was willing to learn. And you have to have that mindset. You have to have that ability to open up and see that. And that's kind of what, in a nutshell, Dave's the storyteller, not me. But that's kind of what my chapter is more about, is the trials and tribulations of how I got here.
Jennifer, what other kinds of things and other kinds of people do you have featured?
I have a mix of everything. I mean, women, men, all different industries, all different backgrounds. It's very diverse. I have Laura Burkemper, who gave our foreword, and she literally grows businesses and then scales them and sells them. I mean, all across the board, recruiting, anything you could think of, it's in this book. It's like a mastermind, but you can read it. It's pretty incredible.
Do you have a radio comedian musician with ADHD?
No, let's go.
Okay, there you go.
That's 4 chapters right there, isn't it?
He's going to be in the second edition.
Yes, he is.
So is it out now?
Yeah, it's live today. So if you can find it on Amazon, or you can go on our LinkedIn pages, it's only available today for $1.99, our ebook. Hard books will come out later, but yeah, support the book launch. That'd be amazing.
I'm going to buy it today.
Yay, thank
That's
you.
exciting. Nice
Thank
to meet you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Hey parents, looking for something fun and unforgettable to do with the kids? Bring the whole family to a Cardinals game at Busch Stadium. From kid-friendly activities and giveaways to awesome promotions like Kids Run the Bases. Your little ones will have a blast, and so will you. Check out Family Sundays, presented by Smithfield, where select tickets include a free jumbo hot dog and soda. There's nothing like sharing the magic of Cardinals baseball together. Make your memories this summer at Busch Stadium. Tickets are available at cardinals.com.
I'm Emma Greed, and I've spent the last 20 years building, running, and investing in some incredible businesses. The more success I've had, the more people started coming to me with questions. How do you start a business? How do you raise money? How do I bounce back from failure? On my new podcast, Aspire with Emma Greed, I'll be answering these questions and more through weekly conversations with the smartest minds out there. Listen to and follow Aspire with Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast, available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Taco to go, taco
Big Q, they steal so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose. For $2.99, you really can't lose. Taco to go. Taco to. This deal's legit. Taco to go. Taco. Only at Quick Trip. Taco to go. Taco to go. Taco to go. $2.99 to go.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
News, talk, cards. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 323. Happy Tuesday to you. Been telling you guys that we're going to be off on Thursday because the Cardinals have a 1-10 game. Just so you know, not that you care, but basically the way this works is if the game is after 1, then we typically don't even have to come into the office because the game's going to last until 3:30, and then the post game's going to go until 4:30, and then Wheeler and Paulie will cover for us. So Thursday's just a day off, and my boss had an idea, and it was a good one, and I was very, very happy to do it. That we're going to do about a 1-hour podcast on Thursday, so that'll drop in the morning, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love podcasts. I love doing podcasts. I think they are very different. I feel different doing them. They're just a different vibe. They are less professional, more fun. So looking forward to that. It'll be good. Thank you to my buddy Jeff Fitter, who brought us some brisket.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's rocking.
It is rolling. Rocking and rolling.
I love that song.
Rocking
and rolling. That was a me and Phoebe thing.
What's that?
What's it called? Seagulls?
Something
like that. It's you don't know anything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wheels, why don't you know our meme from 2017?
Yeah, why don't you know the Stone Cold DGS Classic?
No, you're like an alien pod version of Wheeler.
From a time where you were not even living in this
You guys are bringing up crap that's outside of my wheelhouse.
You're like, I don't know Jonathan Appleseed.
I know who he is, but I did not know the story of Johnny Appleseed.
What did you think it was?
I have no idea. I thought it was like a cartoon character or something.
Like Richard Scarry?
Like I had heard the name, but I never knew, I didn't know that it was just a real guy that planted trees.
Race, what do you got? You have many, many interesting stories.
Let me look at my sheet here. What do I want to talk about? Oh, did you guys see that? Okay, there was a rumor going around that Major League Baseball told players just to be safe, don't ever drink Celsius energy drinks.
No.
Because it has an ingredient known to flag on drug tests as cocaine. So a Detroit Tigers sports reporter tweeted, Celsius has an ingredient known to flag as cocaine in MLB drug testing, and although it's not officially banned, it's strongly discouraged. But then the reporter went back and deleted the post, so I don't know where this was coming from. But my first, and Celsius has come out and said, yeah, that this is not true. Claims that Celsius could cause someone to fail a drug test have been proven false. There's no merit to these claims. But as someone who has drank more than my fair share of Celsius energy drinks, the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, there's something very unsettling about that drink at times where I'm like, my anxiety is at a 10 all of a sudden.
I'm
Just thought
not.
that was kinda
They might have
interesting.
stopped making these, but the Bang energy drinks did that to me really bad. Like,
Which is saying something.
I know, which I consume quite a bit of caffeine. So when I was drinking those, and I remember one time sitting in here and just thinking like, I felt like my heart was palpitating. I was like, perhaps I should avoid those in the future. I think I'm going to die if I drink another one.
And the funny thing is, if you just listen to yourself say that out loud, like, yeah, it's called Bang Energy Drink.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's probably not going to be the best for you.
What's the trashy Hoosier thing?
There was a woman who posted on TikTok about the fact that there's a return policy at Target where if it's Target branded clothing, you can return it at any time as long as you have a receipt. So what she does is she buys the Cat and Jack brand, which is a Target brand of her kids' school uniforms. She has her kids wear the uniforms all year, and at the end of the school year, returns them to Target. And look, I'm all for saving money and like, here's a hack to save you a couple of bucks. But that is at a point where it's like you are abusing. I mean, far be it from me to like stick up for Target, the corporation, but I just think that's wrong.
You're running a scam there.
You are Yes, you are doing something that is wrong, and we shouldn't be celebrating it. We should be going, this is not like a good look.
So I had a friend who still is very schemy. Everything's a scheme. Everything's a heist. And he was telling me how Nordstrom will allow you to return anything, even if you didn't buy it there. They just don't fight you. And so he would wear out a pair of jeans he bought from Walmart or something and just take them back to Nordstrom and get money.
And he was bragging about that?
Oh, very proud.
That's the point where it's like, dude, that's just where I just can't get on your level and be like, yeah, good job. I think it's Hoosierific.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So if you and I were just buddies and I'm not doing a radio show and we're just sitting around having a beer and you say, you know what, I think we've decided to remodel the bathroom. And we talked to Bath Fitter and we talked to 3 Day Kitchen and Bath and we got a bid and it was X thousands of dollars. And I say, well, I got a friend. His name's Mike. And for the last 30 years, he's done nothing but bathroom remodeling. He tells me he's always 30 to 50% less than the companies that you just mentioned. He's local. He's family owned. All the money stays here. If you use him, you're supporting probably a dozen, St. Louis families. And I know him personally, and he's a great guy. The chances of you using Bath Fitter are slim and none because you're getting a personal recommendation from someone who knows someone who's local, family, who does a great job on exactly what you need for 50% the price of national companies. So basically, this is just a big referral from a friend. If you are a disabled veteran, you can get a bathroom remodeling for no money out of your pocket because it's a VA benefit that you have earned through your service. Right now, during all the weird tariff times, Mike is offering you money off, not adding money to. So $500 off any shower or tub replacement, $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Well, we got a highway crash already this afternoon. If you're heading home on westbound Highway 70, it looks good out of the city. You start to back up a little bit at Highway K, and west of there, it just becomes a solid jam by the time you get to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. There's a crash. Westbound 70 just west of Highway A. Only the left lane is getting past there right now. Westbound 64, a little busy at McCausland. Lindbergh to Ballas is slow. West of Winghaven, there's a couple of heavy spots out to 70. Not as bad since that 70 traffic's being held up at A. South 270, stop and go pockets. Page down to 64, slow to Doherty Ferry, and again 44 down to Gravois. Southbound 55 south of Arsenal to Bates, north of Zeta McNutt. Typical slow stuff. We have a jam. Southbound 141 south of 21, right lane's blocked by an injury crash at Old Missouri State. Southbound Route 3 jam from the Poplar down to Monsanto, and eastbound 5570 backs up east of 111 to 255 due to the closure of the interstate there at 157. I'm Roger Brand at the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. For over 30 years, St. Louis families have trusted Suntrup Ford Westport and Suntrup Ford Kirkwood as a proud, family-owned and operated dealership. We offer more than just great deals. We offer peace of mind. At Suntrup Ford, you'll find a huge selection of inventory to choose from, unmatched customer service, and our exclusive lifetime powertrain protection program. Visit in store or online at suntrupford.com. Save more at Suntrup Ford. Visit suntrupford.com.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Steve All of the All Financial Group doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824 for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Tonight, the Cards, the White Sox.
Cameron Total Access 545.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have the Think Tank. Every Tuesday, we get together with a Republican friend and a Democrat friend. Today, we have Steve Ellman and Ian Mackey coming in. Right now, we have Dave Murray and some friends.
Happy
Is
dog.
that rain?
He's getting attacked
That's
by
rain.
dogs.
Dave's being mauled. Someone call 911 for the love of God.
Now,
Dave-
if you hear me doing that, do not call 911.
Yeah, for sure.
Dave, I do feel like whenever we hear the dogs, it's usually Rain. Is he like kind of your right hand doggy?
No, Rain was born with a narrow, like a narrow breathing tube.
Okay.
And ever since like 6 months, she's a panter. She doesn't have Cushing's disease or some other thing. She's all been tested for that. And when she gets a little warm, she gets excited, then that's what she sounds like.
Well, now
and I know that if she doesn't sound like that, then we have a problem.
Way to shame her, Rage.
I know,
Yeah.
and I also misgendered her,
Misgendered
which I
her.
feel horrible
That's right.
about.
I was like, Rain is a lady.
I apologize.
Rachel, apologies
Rain
are
is
not
a
allowed in 2025. You
Beautiful,
should double
elegant,
down.
and very
You
loud
just
lady.
keep digging that hole, Rage.
Double down. Let's go.
Thanks for asking.
Dave, seems like that boy dog of yours is a real panner.
No, it's just usually it's
Probably
Rain.
getting tired of that, huh?
Yeah. No, and they're both. Rain usually is right below me, and Snowflake is just to my right. And they wait because they know after this live shot, they go for a walk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did they just react when you said that?
No.
Oh, good.
Because they know it's not time to go for a walk.
I can't say that word
They're
around
like,
the
he's
house,
got to
man.
do the forecast first, and they do a couple of headlines.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they know I talk for a while, but what they really wait for is my laptop to close.
Yeah.
They hear that click, and then they know that's it. We're going.
We should put
Let's
the
go.
dogs in the chair and act like it's them doing the forecast.
Could probably do that.
Put the headset on the dog.
Snowflake would be good at that.
Yeah.
Are they good walkers? Like my dog Murphy was the absolute sweetest dog I've ever met. Maybe even sweeter than Augie. But you put him on a leash and he was an a-hole.
No. These guys walk. Yeah, I mean, Rain's a slow walker now, but she still likes to do a normal walk for her now, and then I'll usually take Snowflake out for another mile or two.
Would you consider getting something other than an English lab?
No, a lab in general, American or English, it would not matter. And we've approached that subject because I still think, who knows how long Rain's going to last? She's like 14 and a half.
Right.
Yeah,
She's doing good, man.
She could be 18, and I'm still kicking. Snowflake is about 7.5, so I figure I got hopefully another good 5 years with her, unless something weird happens. And by then, I'm getting a little old for a puppy. But we may foster labs.
It's a good move.
That. Yeah.
Never thought of being too old
Always
for a
needed
puppy.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's there. Let's just take
realistic.
kind of the average. 10 to 12 years for a lab. So if Snowflake makes it another 5 years or so, I'm now in my mid to upper 70s. So that's mid to upper 80s. And and who knows? Now, the good side of that is that my son has said, "Hey, I've never known you without a dog. Never. You got to get if both of these guys go, you've got to get one, and I'll take care of it after you say I can't do it anymore."
That's a good son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice. Dave, I keep seeing local television putting Tomorrow in red.
Oh, yes. Why not? Gotta get your attention.
I know you're not a fan of the theatrics.
No, I'm not. But there's two things. I'm going to jump way ahead because starting Friday afternoon, and it's just barely getting there. We still haven't gone over 90. But starting Friday, we have a shot of it. And then over the weekend and into next week, I think we will easily go into the 90s. I like a 90 to 95 from Friday through at least Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So summer is kind of trying to make up for some lost time. Tomorrow, we have a cool front moving our way. It's a summer cool front. It will get through, but it's going to really take its time. I see 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms, one early in the morning, like before 8 o'clock in the morning. That will be a dying batch of thunderstorms coming at us from the northwest. I don't really think it gets into the St. Louis area, and if it does, it's not going to be much. Then we go into a little bit of a break for 3 or 4 hours, and the question will be how much sun is able to come out after some morning cloudiness. If we get a fair amount of sun, then I think the atmosphere will get really juicy. But the atmosphere's got a chance to be somewhat juicy anyway. So the prime window of scattered strong to possibly severe thunderstorms will be 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's a huge window. And it's just because there's a lot of unknowns with this thing at this stage of the game. I like St. Louis south and southeast and east for the best shot of action as we go through. If I had to pick a time, I'd really be looking at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon for St. Louis. With that said, any thunderstorm should only last about 20 to 30 minutes. It's going to be very fast moving, rolls in, rolls out. Main features will be strong, gusty, possibly damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Heavy downpours of rain, lightning, the possibility of small pockets of hail. It's not a big hail maker. I don't think it's a much of a tornado maker at this point, other than maybe a few small spin-ups. So we just kind of have to pay attention to the sky as we go through Wednesday afternoon. Scattered's the key word. Not everybody's going to see strong to severe thunderstorms, but they should be around.
I smell storm mode.
Maybe.
Getting close. I've already alerted the authorities. Michael is ready to go.
I was going to say, I know who the authority is. Dave, the first time Michael walked in and did the studio unannounced and started storm mode, I had no freaking idea what was going on.
It was kind of frightening.
Very frightening.
Yeah.
We like to take over the station.
Yeah,
from
you
time to
sure
time.
do. And we like you to.
He just he walked in and he sat down and he was like, "Give it to me." We were like, oh, "Okay, here you go."
Yes, sir.
And it was
I
just like 2
gotta tell you,
hours of storm.
I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and Michael's right up there as top notch.
He's great.
in
He's
severe
incredible.
weather
Yeah,
coverage.
most frightening
Really
for sure.
good. Really good.
And he has the best hair of any human I know.
Oh my God!
If you guys don't know this, like I know how it is, like picturing your favorite radio personalities and the news people and such. Michael has long, luxurious, beautiful hair.
He's got a lion's mane on him.
Yeah. He takes it down sometimes. I'm just like, my. Pshaw. Headlines, Rach?
Sure, but first I want to let you guys know that Dave Murray's forecast was sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today, now offering 20% off your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with that Schnucks Rewards app. OpenAI has secured a $200 million contract with the U.S. government to develop advanced artificial intelligence tools for national defense. The Pentagon announced the tech will support military operations and internal government systems, with work primarily taking place in Washington, D.C. It's expected to conclude by July of 2026. This is a crazy story. There are 88 children in protective custody after reports of abuse at an Iowa camp. Have you seen this, Dave?
No, if not.
Multiple agencies were involved in this 2-day operation at Shekinah Glory Camp. It's a Bible camp with a stated focus on helping adults and children suffering from addiction, run by the Kingdom Ministry of Rehab and Recreation in southeastern Iowa. A total of 88 kids were taken into custody and moved to a church to meet with child protection workers. They say the investigation is ongoing.
Do we know what they're accused of doing to the kids?
Just overall abuse is all I've seen.
It's just a bad place.
It looks like the organizers of this camp are saying, go ahead and investigate us. There's nothing to find, so this will be interesting to keep up with.
I don't personally believe in hell, but you almost root for it for people like that. Anyone who would hurt a kid, there's just something severely wrong with you. But someone who would use the subterfuge of I'm a good guy, I'm a youth pastor, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I'm a this, I'm a that. Like, my Lord. Jeez.
Pope Leo has welcomed his first movie star to be granted an audience. He met Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
I'm just doing impressions in my head. Whoa.
Does he walk up there and be like, hoo-ah?
Look at that.
So
You're
as we
the
know, Elon Musk has been accused of being on drugs. Well, he has shared the results of a drug test to refute these accusations. The lab results showed no presence of drugs in his system, including ketamine, ecstasy, and magic mushrooms. But he's being accused by the New York Times of using drugs in 2024. So, posting the test now doesn't necessarily prove that you weren't on drugs 6 months ago. But I guess I see what he's trying to do.
Did he videotape the entire process from beginning to end with witnesses so we could see that it's actually him being tested? Because anybody can say, here's the results.
Yeah.
We don't know who did it. Now, I'm not saying he did it. I don't want him to sue me. I'm just saying it wouldn't be very hard to, fool people and just say, I did this and this is the thing.
Wheels, when Bolger was here playing, they would have to do pee tests. And not to get too graphic, but someone would have to monitor it.
Yeah.
And they would have to be down at eye level.
Yeah.
Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
The guy that administered Mark's urine test was a huge DGS fan. And so he was like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in the world's most awkward position for a man talking about you while doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to have in college when we did the drug
even more
testing, we had to
awkward.
have the
Even
person,
more awkward.
the person administering had to be in the room, but they were not at eye level.
Yeah.
But they had to be like looking at you so that they could see you're not pulling like a vial out of somewhere
Right.
and doing all that. Yeah.
Like they would use like fake penises.
Yeah.
And fake urine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get stage fright?
Did I?
You have to do.
No.
Anybody. You know, the guy does the guy.
I think I get more stage fright being the monitor.
Yeah. Yeah, the trick is just make sure you like gotta go. They make you drink a lot, like drink a lot of water and Gatorades and stuff.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it, buddy.
You got it.
Tell you guys about BioBalance Health, but I'm going to bottom line it for you because I feel like I've been doing a lot of Dr. Kathy Maupin live endorsements, which no complaint. It's wonderful. Been in business with Kathy for about 18 years now. Just one of my best friends. I just love her to absolute death. By the way, I know it's hard to pre-sell a person, but if you are on the edge about doing testosterone pellets, get the blood test and meet Dr. Maupin. She will single-handedly charm you, tell you her amazing comeback story, and you're going to feel really, really good about doing the pellets. It's every 6 months, so twice a year for men. Mine's coming up August, and it's about a 10-minute procedure, and procedure is a really scary word. It's a whole bunch of nothing. They make a little incision in your back fat or your upper butt, tiny. You're numbed up. You don't feel it. Put the pellets in, put a little piece of tape and gauze on top of that, and that's it. Like, there are no stitches, there's no pain, there's no bruising, there's no nothing like that. For women, I think it's every 4 months. Right next door, literally in the parking lot, is BioBalance Skin, where people get Botox and chemical peels and micro needling and the Moxie treatment and Sculpt and things like that. So if you want to feel better, you want to look better, you can do it with Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we got double trouble on Highway 70 now. This traffic reports a service of Jack in the Box. First of all, they're still working the crash westbound 70 west of Highway A. Traffic is a solid jam back to about T.R. Hughes, just crawling bumper to bumper because only the left lane remains open at that point. And now we have a new injury crash. This one's eastbound 70, east of Hanley, right near Florissant Road in Cool Valley. Left lane's closed. It's jammed back to 170. Southbound 170 slow. Delmar to 64. Westbound 64 from Boyle all the way to Hanley's busy. From Lindbergh to 270. Clarkson out to about Boone's Crossing is slow in 364 to 70, kind of off the pace. Southbound 270 is heavy from Page all the way down to Doherty Ferry. Just a brief backup through Olive and a couple of slowdowns. 44 to Gravois after that. Southbound 55 Arsenal to Bates. Right around Z McNutt down toward A. There's a couple of heavy spots. Eastbound 64 is slow east of the Poplar. 70 east of the Mutual Veterans is heavy. And we're jammed on eastbound 5570 east of 111 over to 255. And northbound 255 heavy, 162 up toward 270 as well. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Get so munch more with the new T-Pain Munchie Meal at Jack in the Box, including your choice of burger or chicken tater melt, plus curly fries, a taco, drink, and new stuffed cookie. Auto-tune not included.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Renewal by Anderson is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword Windows. That's pound 250 keyword Windows, or head to rbastl.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
There's an evil new twist in the tragic story of baby powder and its link to ovarian cancer. Recently uncovered documents reveal that talc can contain asbestos.
The same asbestos that we know causes mesothelioma.
Right, and ovarian cancer.
In the 1970s, the industry wrote its own rules, allowing Johnson & Johnson to claim that its talc was asbestos-free, as long as it contained less than 1% asbestos.
Of course, Johnson & Johnson helped write those rules. So while we're using hazmat suits to remove the asbestos from our homes, Johnson & Johnson was telling women it's safe for their bodies.
Unbelievable. So if you've used talcum powder for feminine hygiene and contracted ovarian cancer, call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
They've already won several large verdicts against Johnson & Johnson for women just like you.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH. That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Welcome back, DGS. Think Tank coming up next. What do you think of this guy? A 72-year-old man in Florida was arrested for stalking and filing false claims after calling 911 on his neighbors 647 times this year alone, 2025. And he has called 3,400 times total on them, accusing them of they're shooting an AR-15. And they get there, and it's like a kid's birthday party or something like that. And over the last 5 years, he has made 16,000 calls to 911 to file false claims.
Jail.
Yes. The
Seems
guy's
like an easy one.
Stop calling 911 for everything.
I thought you went to jail if you did that like once.
I did too. What a menace. What a terrible guy. Here's an interesting one. You probably have seen stories like on Drudge and Clickbait, like married people live so much longer than lonely elderly people. Well, there's a new study saying that lonely older adults, I'm not sure how they define lonely, I guess just not being partnered, live up to 10 years longer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Kind of a dickin'.
I wonder if that's like hope, like I don't know, like just to be like actually, like you know how sometimes these studies come out and it's like this is kind of a contradictory study of the one we heard yesterday. I wonder if this one's just being thrown out like
Yeah, I wonder if in my lifetime I will actually know whether red wine and coffee are good for you.
Yeah, probably not.
I doubt there's anything definitive. Tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union. Steve is the CEO over there. He's